This week we figure out how many CM Punks it takes to light a pipe bomb. Welcome everybody. It is the time of the week again for the Cream of the Crop podcast. As always, I am joined with my two lovely compadres, Olas and Porto. Welcome in, gentlemen.
Cool.
So we haven't missed a week at all. This is the correct order of podcasts, and that's what it'll be, and we'll move on from there. We're not going to talk about it any further. Quite a bit to talk about tonight. As always, we will start this podcast like we do every podcast with our favorite time of the week, This Week in Geek. Some movie and gaming, a good combination of geekness this week, starting with as bad as geeky as we can get. Fortnite dropped a for a kids game. I don't quite understand Fortnite because we dropped an Eminem like rap virtual concert that then led in
Travis Scott first.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say it's not the first one they've done. It's just it's still weird to me of like a game that's established as something for kids. We continuously keep putting in like hardcore rappers in it, and it just makes me laugh.
I still love that a game aimed at kids is designed to shoot all of the people in the game.
Well,
Cool, perfectly fine.
Somehow and this is quite a stretch of tying events. You had an Eminem concert that led into a Fortnite new season reveal, that led into a Lego Fortnite reveal, that led into Peter Griffin.
Buff Peter Griffin.
I don't think you could have put all of those things in a hat with 30 other things, and I would have pulled them out in that succession. I don't. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, and didn't see, I think it was over this weekend when they did it. Fortnite obviously did this as I think they called it was a Big Bang event to start off season 5.
Yes.
And in that trailer, they showed that I guess there's going to be a Lego game mode of some sort where inherently it's Fortnite, but your Legos. There will also be a rocket racing mode, which features cars from Rocket League. So that was also kind of a random tie-in they threw in during this whole thing. Hey, and it also, like Porto announced to us earlier, it connected to wrestling somehow because apparently Becky Lynch was dancing shitty in it during the Eminem concert. So that's cool.
Just Master Chief and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, just who'd have thought? And then at the end of this reveal, we see that Buff Peter Griffin, is apparently in the Battle Pass this season, and I have confirmed that in purchasing the Battle Pass this morning once I saw that Peter Griffin was in it.
Dance.
Yeah, but no. What's even better is what happens when he dies. So when
he does the knee thing?
Yes, he does the knee meme when he dies. It's great. I go, God damn it, Fortnite. Every time I wanna say no, you fucking get me back in. God, I keep seeing my TikTok was all the memes of like me and my friends trying to line up the surfing bird dance, and it was all doing it out of time. And then like it would cut and one of them would be like dead on the ground, and then it would cut back to them doing it. But yeah, it's quite an interesting Fortnite weekend. I did play like 2 games, then immediately stopped because I just wasn't about it at the moment.
Fortnite, so yeah.
I will say it looked like streamers had a good time during the Big Bang event. Ninja posted on X/Twitter that during his, let's see, what was it? During his stream, he went up to a max viewer of 500,000 or 579,780 viewers.
God damn.
I would kill for the last 2 digits of that number. Yeah. Just give me 80. I'm content.
Right.
But in all fairness, it was across the board. Even I was seeing a lot of lower level kind of Fortnite streamers were getting quite an influx just because of the Eminem event. So quite from what I saw of it, it looked like a cool event. I do know there was complaints that it was a lot shorter than like the Travis Scott one, which the Travis Scott one is a good event. If you haven't ever seen it, it's a pretty cool. Well, it's not like Travis Scott, but
I mean, to your point, Onyx, I was told once upon a time that if you have a Super Bowl stream, you could have like 30,000 people in your thing. If you were there when that was told to us, so apparently that's a thing.
It's true. Just gotta stream the Super Bowl.
Douchebag. Anyway,
gotta stream the Super Bowl, guys. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Quite a few TV movie announcements in the last few weeks. So I guess Fallout seems to be getting a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who it is that is actually putting this out.
Oh, it's on Prime.
Is it Prime that's deciding to do it?
Amazon. Yep, it's gonna be on Amazon. Then you have the announcement of Halo season 2 coming out in February of next year.
Don't even fucking get me started on that. How that got a season 2, I'll never understand.
People love Halo.
No,
not that Halo, but people
not
love
good Halo. People love the shit. Sorry, and I tried watching that, and I got through it. It is not Halo. Well, it's not Master Chief. If you wanted to say that this was just like a random Spartan story you were telling, I could understand that a little bit better. But it's just everything about this whole Master Chief thing with him, and I like the guy that plays the main, plays Master Chief, and I would be fine if this was just a random Spartan story. I just don't like it being Master Chief. That's my fucking 2 cents on it. I am surprised they got a season 2, considering everything I had heard about it was negative. So I was surprised to see that.
But I think the reason why it gets a season 2 is the reason why like stuff like Velma gets passed around. Hate watching.
Yeah.
People tend to hate. People tend to hear how shitty it is.
By the way,
yeah. People like this. Okay. I just thought about that. Yeah. People love to hate watch something, and then the fucking executives like, oh, they're doing great numbers. Give it a season 2.
Yeah. Have they given Velma a season 2 yet?
I fucking hope not.
I hope not.
Fucking
I pray.
I don't know if
it's so bad.
That was the one time in a long time that I feel like the internet was unified in one cause. Was hating
like
that show.
Sonic fucking trailer all over again. I was like, please just,
except it didn't get better. That was the bad thing. We didn't fix this one.
It was already done, so they couldn't do anything about it. Like it was already out, and people were like, please make it stop. But they didn't.
They didn't. They just chose to continue.
Kept going.
Oh, fuck.
I could make a joke, but I'm leaving it alone.
No, do it.
No.
Do it.
Don't get consent. Just keep going.
There you go.
But so the Fallout looks like they kind of, which I haven't seen anything of it. I just I'd seen they announced it, but I haven't seen any like the pictures or anything. But I guess there was depictions of the Brotherhood of Steel and the Vault Dwellers, and then obviously the picture that's going around right now
of the one picture
of the ghoul.
I think I feel like they're trying to do Fallout 4.
Yeah, I mean that the settlement kind of style.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing Good Neighbor, and the ghoul will be Hancock, and the Brotherhood of Steel is like you see the airship coming in.
Gotcha.
So it's like heavy Fallout 4 vibes.
I do like that there was a complaint on Twitter that people are annoyed that the ghouls have gotten less gnarly as the series has gone on.
Yeah.
Kind of an odd thing.
I get the complaint, but I don't get the complaint.
Yeah,
like everything else on the internet, it's a complaint for the sake of a complaint.
Yeah, but it's like, you're supposed to be radioactive, like people. You should be damn near zombies, and it's like y'all are just a little burnt.
Have they announced when this is hitting?
No.
Okay, I'm not seeing a release date.
I don't think they have a release date. They just showed the first.
Gotcha. I mean, it's one of those that I was concerned about, like The Last of Us, and that ended up being really good. Although it is literally just a 1-for-1 telling of the game, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'd rather it be that.
1-for-1 telling of Fallout 4.
Well, that'd be a little more difficult because depending on your playthrough.
Yeah, it kind of ends up the same way.
It's true. But no, I think that'll be interesting. I'll definitely sit down. That might even be when I can get my Monix in, because I was surprised I got her into Last of Us. So, and then to wrap up, as far as movies and all that stuff, Port, I'm sure you saw this, Olis. I don't know if you've, because I know you're not as much in the comic scene as Porto and I are. Madam Web got announced, trailer drop for Madam Web that I'm very not sure about.
I did see the trailer.
Such a what the fuck?
Dakota Johnson as Madam Web is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
You know, what's funny is I almost, if she wasn't already Scarlet Witch, I could almost see Olsen as like a prime Marvel Madam Web.
Yeah, like,
but now I guess she's hated by everybody in Marvel now, so I don't know something about, because she made a comment about gypsies or some shit, and now the whole world fucking hates her, and I don't know.
The shitty kid from Stranger Things and fucking we were just talking, the one who gets kidnapped.
Gotcha. Okay.
Noah Schnapp.
Schnapp.
Him and fucking Amy Schumer were going off about Jewish people.
Did she fuck him too, or was it just off Ziggler?
Jesus Christ, that's a crime.
Well, it wouldn't be the first one Amy Schumer's ever committed.
She's a crime against humanity. But yeah, I just hate the suits for the females look okay.
I thought it was odd that they have 2 Spider Women and neither one of them are the one that I was hoping they were gonna have.
Which one?
So I was hoping like the OG, or not, maybe it's not OG because my Spider Women are out of date as far as like release. Yes, Jessica Drew is the one that I was thinking.
She wears the black suit.
No, that's Julia Carpenter. Wears the black suit. And then Mattia Franklin's the one that has kind of the Iron Spider tentacle arms. Which both, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be in this. I'm totally cool with that because they're cool Spider Women. It just was surprising that
I guess
Drew wasn't in it as well.
I guess with Across the Spider-Verse just happening.
Yeah.
And them having a big point to have Jessica.
Yeah, because Carpenter's in. Julie Carpenter Spider-Woman is in Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but not like a main.
Yeah, well, yeah. One of those glimpses of, one of the spider people.
Yeah. So it's like blink if you miss it. And you'll miss it type thing. But I just hate that Sony is doing their absolute damnedest to do Spider-Man movies without a Spider-Man. It's like, why keep doing this? I get the only time this has worked is Joker. Joker's the only time you can have a movie.
I still think Joker 2 is gonna bomb.
Probably.
I stand by it.
Probably. I don't think it'll bomb. I think it'll still make its money back. It won't bomb. Because Joker was a decent movie.
Yeah,
I don't know how the musical aspect will get over with that same audience, but I don't see it like completely failing.
Lady Gaga is
Aquaman.
I don't think Aquaman's gonna fail.
It's gonna. People saying, "Oh, it's gonna do $1 billion again."
I don't know about that.
Fucking mind.
Here's my complaint: is DC is so all over the place right now because this movie doesn't even count anymore.
It's a non-movie.
So like, I don't understand why we're even bothering with it.
Because they already made them. They already made the movie, and they might as well just put it out.
Yeah, but you can
say but here's the thing: they're making Batman 2. They're making a sequel to the Robert Pattinson Batman.
So the way they explain that, they want to keep the Batman and the Joker series because they they're self-contained. That one's the easiest to explain. They are movies that are self-contained stories, and they don't revolve around any other characters that are part of the DC universe. So those two can fuck off and do their own thing. It's no, oh, we have to recast this because that's.
I know, it's just for continuity issues of you're gonna have a Robert Pattinson Batman, and then you're gonna have James Gunn Batman that are completely different Batman.
But at one point, we had 3 Batmen in the DCU.
Not at the same time.
You had 2 Batmen in the same movie.
Which one? Okay, what are we referencing the Flash movie?
Yes.
See, okay, we're referencing cameos as different.
3. No, that's not a cameo because Ben Affleck was Batman.
Ben Affleck's absolutely a cameo in that movie. He is not. He is not in that movie long enough to be a standalone character.
He is Batman.
George Clooney also not in that movie long enough to be.
That's why I said 2. I don't count George because that is a joke.
No, and that is fair. You have 2 Batmans in that.
Hey, listen, bat nipples are great. Okay,
that one's easy to explain. The Batman is his own thing. Joker is his own thing. But the main continuity is Superman Legacy onward, or maybe Blue.
I just don't. My complaint is, if you were gonna continue on the Robert Pattinson anyway, why do we have to fucking redo Batman again?
Because this Batman. Because if what the way he says it is the way I interpret what he's saying is the Batman and the Batman in the Brave and the Bold movie are going to be 2 different Batman in 2 different parts of life. So they'll be so separated you can't confuse the 2.
And that makes even less sense to me though with the continuity of the story he's telling. So you're going to have a Superman at the very beginning of pretty much being Superman. But a Batman that's already like 30 years in?
No. Well, the way he explains it is Superman will not be like he's just starting out. He's already established as Superman. Apparently, Justice League exists because multiple heroes are in this movie.
See, everything I've seen is this is like year 1 Superman, that he's not Clark Kent farm boy, but he is just become Superman.
I've heard that.
Okay.
So I don't know 100% who's actually writing this. We'll probably talk about this later off mic, but
that's just because it's that issue of continuity of just, I understand you want to put product out,
yeah,
but you're putting so much.
But when they say they're doing Brave and the Bold, it doesn't mean they're doing it old Batman.
Well, they
say
Damien's in it. Which,
Damien's around.
I mean, if you're going by comic book continuity, he would have to be relatively older. Older than he is when he meets Superman. Let's put it that way.
Old enough to have a kid that would be like, what, 10, 12, 15?
And once again, depending on what age they go with it, if they're doing like fresh Damien or if they're doing
or aged up.
Damien's been Robin for a few years.
Because didn't New 52 have like Dick Grayson being Robin, him leaving, Jason being Robin, dying, and Tim Drake all being Robin in like the span of like 3 years.
No.
Span like 5 years.
No, because Dick Grayson is Robin for like even in New 52. I can't think of an iteration where Dick Grayson is not Robin for at least the ages of like 12 until 18 to 20.
Like, I could be wrong, but I feel like there's a continuity where all the events of like from Dick Grayson Robin to Tim Drake Robin were in the span of like 5 years.
See, I do not recognize it. I can't think of one off my head. Yeah, because you're still adding at least.
It's not New 52. What happened past New 52? What will be that continuity convergence? And
still think they're in New 52. I don't think it's changed.
No, I'm talking about the one that they definitely passed New 52 because they had convergence. Then you had Dark Knight Metal, Death Metal, and all that.
Did they classify Metal as like its own separate continuation of? Okay.
They started a new continuity.
See, I'm not
becoming gold and shit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that was when Wonder Woman had the invisible chainsaw of truth because she melted down her plane. to kill the Batman Who Laughs. It's a fucking acid trip when you explain this.
Yeah, no, it's a
No,
continuity I haven't
convergence
gotten
is
into.
when like a spatial being like takes apart multiple multiverses and like battle
Yeah, because
them
Dick
together.
Grayson's the one that they done. Dick Grayson gets chosen as like the guy that saves them.
That's after the whole Dark Knight Metal thing.
See, and that's why. Oh my god, they need to.
This is like another. This is not like another small reboot in after the big reboot.
No wonder the movies suck. No fucking wonder. We keep rebooting the goddamn series every 10 years.
Like I know bits and pieces of DC lore is like.
Well, you know what? Maybe all I said was fucking wrong because I can't keep up with them rebooting the goddamn series every 3 years.
Fuck,
Poor Olas over here. He's just wanting to. He's just hating his life right now. Dude, listen to these fucking nerds. All right. Well, now, we're like I said, Madam Web. I hope it's good. I don't like the Ezekiel suit, but I'm hoping maybe it's just the start. Maybe it'll look better actually in the movie.
Miles Morales suit.
Pretty much. I guarantee what they're gonna do is it's pieces of every Spider-Man he's killed stitched together. Because I guarantee that's I have a feeling that's gonna be the stupid ass real revelation in it. Yeah. So transition.
We have one other bit of This Week in Geek news that you missed.
Okay.
Tuesday, December 5th.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Like a day from now, and some time from now, at 9 a.m. Eastern time, will be the first glimpse trailer of GTA 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How the fuck did we forget that one?
Are they live streaming that, or are they just gonna drop it? And
I think they're just gonna drop it. I think because they didn't announce like an event, they just announced the trailer.
Okay.
I did see that some dude's kid like leaked shit.
I saw that. I was looking at
I didn't
articles.
see what the leak was. I just saw that
I saw it.
Some kid, like some dude's dickbag kid, was like, "Oh yeah, I want some TikTok views. Let me like, dude."
Now that guy's probably fired.
That's when you're allowed to beat your kids.
Rockstar North America.
Sorry, I said that out loud.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's fine. I agree.
Beat your kids, man.
Yeah. Listen, when they do shit like that and potentially cost you your job,
Shoryuken.
Yeah. Hit him with the bus driver uppercut. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but no, I did see something about that. I didn't look into it high depth of what was leaked. But
no, So, the likelihood we already, I feel like we discussed this, but they're not going to give us a date.
Yeah.
They might give us a time frame. Maybe.
I would say at least give me like a season and a year.
They'll say like winter 2024 or like early 2025. That's when I'm kind of guesstimating that it would launch anyway. I think probably if they're smart, if of course it has to be ready.
Yeah.
But if they're smart, they'll do it for like holiday time, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody's gonna get it for Christmas and blah blah blah. Like that would be the most sensible time. But realistically, if they're not that close just yet, we're probably looking at like summer 25.
Yeah, I'd imagine if they were going to capitalize, I'd say Christmas would probably be.
That would be your best bet.
Like
a November release of some, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do keep seeing speculations of like how much it's going to cost, and like some things some of the Rockstar people have said of like, you'll pay this, and then you might like pay by the hour or some shit. It's like, I swear to God, if they do some nonsense like that, I'd fucking lose it. Talking about this gonna be the base game was gonna be $150 because of the amount of work that went into it.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, all right, you can go ahead and take that game and shove it up your ass at that point.
Yeah, go make another update for GTA 5 and shut the fuck
up. Yeah, I'll play this game.
You made more than $150 per copy for GTA 5 when you released it on fucking 5 different platforms. Go fuck yourself. Like, I don't want to hear shit about we should pay by the hour. Bro, you get paid by the hour. Go fuck off. Like,
Hey, it wouldn't surprise me the way some of this shit's going. I still disagree that the shit we're buying now should be $70 a fucking game.
Yeah.
Consider half the time shit ain't finished.
No.
That shit, I think Baldur's Gate and Assassin's Creed Mirage have been the first two things I've played that were 100% like day one worked and were fine.
Yeah.
And you know, even Assassin's Creed kind of has its own set of issues just from being what it is. Because
it's Assassin's Creed, it's Ubisoft. They always have some sort of nonsense.
I will say that Ubisoft Plus, god damn it, is suckering me in to just play all of the Assassin's Creed games. And
I mean, it's not a bad way to go. I love the Assassin's Creed games. So
I'm like, hey, I finished this and I kind of know the story, but there's some stuff I don't remember, and I should probably go back and just replay all of this.
It's okay to go back and play again.
But see, then I gotta play Valhalla and I gotta play Odyssey and I gotta finish Origins.
They're pretty good games though. Like they're pretty good.
My issue with it is they're good. I don't think they're bad games. I just don't think they're Assassin's Creed games.
They are and aren't. I understood the I mean, Origins is clearly like they don't really reference it until like the end of the game. And you're like, okay, it's Origins. It's like it's in the name. Like, you know,
this is the start of them. You know,
this is how they started. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
The RPG style, I'm cool with that too.
But even Origins to me still had kind of the stealth mechanic to it, where like it still felt like I was playing, even though they're like obviously they were okay with you just full out just fighting.
Sure.
You know, that you could also do the stealth part where I feel like what I've seen from Odyssey, and this is somebody that hasn't played it, so I don't know. Or what I've seen of Odyssey and what I've seen of Valhalla is it is mainly just an RPG. There really isn't a stealth.
Valhalla was worse than Odyssey in this. Like Odyssey still had some stealth capabilities to it. Valhalla was kind of rough, but you could still do it. I like playing stealthy. That's my thing. So it was doable. It just wasn't as like I'm trying to think of what was the one. Syndicate was the last one before they went to Origins, right? If I remember correctly. And you could play as the brother and the sister, and Evie was the stealthier one, and you had like the specific stealth missions. Like it's not that stealthy, but it was still decent. Like
and that's what I liked about Mirage.
Yeah, and that's from what I've been playing so far, and I'm not very far in. How long is the game? Just estimated.
Let's see. I've done like 3 streams of it. 3, 6, 9, and then this weekend too. I would say it's close to 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely, you can tell that it should have been a DLC that they just kind of added to it a bit, which I'm fine with, because it's still, I mean, like I said, if I get 10 plus hours out of something, and that's just me doing doing story. Like I didn't do, I did some of the contracts and like some of the side stuff, but like I mainly was just doing story. So but no, I like the Basim character. I like kind of his kind of old school-ish origin, you know, Assassin's Creed style. Or I guess hidden ones in this. It's not the assassins yet, but
that's where things get a little tricky. So Odyssey kind of took place before Origins, which I thought was weird as like a backwards move. Origins made sense when you're like, hey, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Odyssey was like, here's what happened before the beginning. And you're like,
well, was it? Okay. I from what I've gauged of Odyssey is it's less of an assassin's story, but like describing, I guess, the weapons and like the apple and all that stuff, where it kind of describes where that comes from.
It's a lot of the precursor stuff, and the assassins aren't there yet, or the hidden ones, but the cult, which then becomes the Templars, has been established.
Gotcha.
Now, mind you, I put like 100 hours into that game because I did like a lot of the side stuff and all the traveling and all that. It's a big map.
Yeah.
I think it's bigger. It might have been bigger than Valhalla. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head because I haven't played Odyssey in years, and I haven't played Valhalla in probably like 8 months. But that was kind of that tied more into the like the precursor civilization with the Apple of Eden and the staff and the this and the that, and the like I guess kind of the start of the Templars slash Abstergo slash what are they called, the cult of
What in like the Mirage and
yeah, what are they called right now? They're called the cult of something.
it's the Order. In Mirage they call them the Order.
Okay.
So I can answer that
Trying to
question.
sorry, I'm just trying to remember what they were called.
The cult of personality.
Yes.
Look in my eyes.
What do you see?
Order of the Ancients.
There you go.
I'm here to make.
Sounds close. I just was missing a part of it.
So that's kind of what evolves into eventually the Hidden Ones become the Assassins, and the Order of the Ancients cult, whatever they call
Becomes
them,
the Templars.
becomes the Templars. Yeah, which then becomes an Abstergo. I would love to see some more like modern day shit. From them. I feel like they kind of got away from as much modern day stuff when they killed off Desmond.
They
like
kind of
Black
still
Flag
kind of
the
because Black Flag does where you're like the
office
coordinator that I guess also ends up helping the assassins because he gives the information over.
Did they ever say who that is? Did they ever like reveal that person?
They never.
No.
Yeah, they
never. Because then they
announced.
just switched to Lily or whatever. Layla. They switched to her, and I was like, "Well, is she the modern day like? Was she the person at Abstergo? Like, how does that?"
Yeah,
because I didn't.
I'm the same way. I would definitely like to see kind of like where they, because it almost seemed like that was going to be the goal with Desmond, is that there would eventually be like a modern day Assassin's Creed game.
Because they had the bleed through where he spent so much time in it that he became like capable of what Ezio and Altair were able to do because he had pretty much lived that life. So it like ingrained the muscle memory into him, and he could have the eagle vision. I'm like, oh, cool. Dead. And I went, oh.
Yeah, I still think that was a weird.
Hey.
Weird
and
way
then
to do
like
that.
Obviously with Valhalla, he's like
the gray or something, and that would
he's like not dead but dead.
It's like his subconscious or something, I think is what I remember seeing. Because that was my thing with Mirage when I finished it. I had to go, okay, I need this explained a little bit, because like I'm like, what the fuck am I like? Because it's a really straightforward game until the very end, and it's like, what the fuck am I like? What is going on?
I am intrigued to see how they get like what they end up doing and how they get there. How much of Valhalla do they tie into it? Because I was very intrigued by it. I'm like, all right, well now I really want to know where they're going.
Yeah, because I didn't realize he was a character from Valhalla.
Yeah,
I didn't know that going into it.
Here's the kicker too. So, don't tell me anything.
Okay.
But spoiler alert for Valhalla. He's kind of the bad guy.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh. So then I played it, and then they're like, yeah, you're gonna play as Basim, and I was like, wait, what? Is this like a bait and switch kind of thing, like they did with
Rogue,
Hatham with and Rogue?
Say Hatham
but
as well.
When they started 3 with
where you think
Hatham, and you're like, oh yeah,
I'm the bad guy. Shit.
I'm the assassin again. Yeah, this guy's pretty cool. And then you're like, oh shit, this guy's a Templar with the ring, and I'm like, oh fuck, what did we do? And then it switched, and I was like, oh
okay. Yeah, I mean I think you'll enjoy it. I think I was very pleased with how much I enjoyed it, and the aspects of the game and the story were very classic to me. I will eventually finish Origins and play Odyssey and Valhalla just so I can try to understand the Assassin's Creed story, because
yes, good luck.
What's bad is I almost just want to replay all of them just for the pure fact that I didn't play Syndicate. and I only
Syndicate was
kind of
good.
played Unity.
I didn't play Unity, but I did catch up on it. Like,
See, I played Unity like day one Unity, where like half of it didn't work.
Yeah, that's why I didn't play it.
And I was like, you know what? I just don't want to play this game anymore.
I remember I went to GameStop and I wanted to get it, and then I saw it was on sale for like $20. And I was like, man, this is still fairly new. Like, it's crazy, a brand new game going for $20. Like, it wasn't used. It wasn't. I was like, oh shit. And the guy at GameStop was like, don't fucking buy it. Like,
don't do it.
I was like, "Oh, you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, no, don't touch. It's like buggy. It's this, it's that." And like, I think by the time it was $20, like they fixed it.
Yeah, but even then, I mean.
But I was just like, "Oh man!" Like, if this guy, and like, I was kind of cool with the guy. I had seen it. Like, we had bullshitted a couple times. So for him to look at me and just be like, "No,"
nah,
I went, "All right, yeah. I guess I'm just not gonna do it." And like,
which is so weird because you come off. I mean. Assassin's Creed at that point, which I guess some of it was because it got to kind of almost the Call of Duty aspect of like, we gotta pump out a game every year.
Every year, yeah.
Because I mean, you had from 1 to 4 were just banger, bang, you know. And
3 was a little rough at times.
See, I'm one of those. 3 was one of my favorites, but I'm also an American Revolution guy. That was stuff I was into.
I think it's the Connor. Connor was kind of like you had, like even Hatham was more entertaining, and he was the bad guy, and then you have Ezio, and then you have Connor, and you're like, he's.
Still wish they hadn't called him that. I still wish we had done like kept just the Indian name. Like I think that was
yeah. But like also, it just character wise, like personality wise,
he's very dry. He's a very dry.
And then they
character.
go, all right, so we have him, and then on 4 they go to Edward, and you're like, oh shit, okay, we're back.
Yeah,
like, we have a personable person again. Like, I'm not just playing this guy that's like watching paint dry. Like, this is good, and like I like the mechanics of 3.
I like the hanging them with the dart, or you could.
Yeah, that whole shit was cool.
The using the muskets and shit like that, Tomahawk was cool. I had the Tomahawk because I did the pre-order of that. I don't. God knows what I fucking did with it, but yeah, and I think so because I looked to see.
We're like keeping you out of this, man.
Yes, well, I mean the next segments he's also going to be out of. Because I was looking to see if they were going to drop any story DLC for Mirage, and they are not. So this is just going to be a standalone story that'll eventually tie into Assassin's Creed Red, which is set in feudal Japan.
That'll be dope.
I pray if there's ever a time for them to bring back Assassin's Creed like multiplayer, it would be this one. And because that I don't know if you remember how the Assassin's Creed multiplayer to this day still probably one of my favorite multiplayers.
Yeah,
that was that time where like these single player games had also really good multiplayers that didn't have any business having good multiplayers.
Yep. Like
this Last of Us had their multiplayer that was actually pretty good. Tomb Raider had one that was pretty good.
Splinter Cell had one that was
Splinter Cell, and and it was so well maintained to me too, because it just was a very simple multiplayer, but was a lot of fun to play. I was always the Irish guy with the fucking just shillelaghing motherfuckers, and I pray bring that back. I think you would have such an influx of online people that would be willing to.
Yep.
So yeah, but. Oh, okay. So they've announced a few of their new Assassin's Creed games. I didn't realize.
3, right?
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed Red, which will be feudal Japan, and then Assassin's Creed Hex. I don't think they've announced what that will be. Okay. Let me see. I'm just kind of reading off the cuff here. I do see where apparently they've Ubisoft is really behind this series again.
Good.
Which I think they should be. I think I think of all the games they have right now that you could put your eggs into a basket on, this would be one of them.
Yeah.
Because I imagine Siege is probably going to get a second one in the near future. And then this I think would be the two that I would just.
I'm still mad that they never did Rainbow Six Patriots and it became Siege and it was not anything like what it was supposed to be.
See, you were the second person this week that has said something about the Rainbow Six Patriots, and I do not remember that.
I saw the trailer for it. The biggest thing I remember specifically was, did you played the Division 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the trailer for it when he's like walking along the car door and he shuts it because he's like using it as cover and then he shuts it to like walk. That was actually introduced in the Rainbow Six Patriots trailer.
Oh.
So it was like a big thing, and it was like, oh shit! Like usually you just either like walk through the car door, like that was all the mechanics back in the day, and you were like, oh my god, this is going to be great because this was supposed to be the game after Rainbow Six Vegas too.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, we're kind of evolving a little, but we're keeping that tactical stealth, blah 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 blah, and like Siege is obviously tactical-ish, but not clearly not stealth. And like it just wasn't what I had anticipated. And I still played the shit out of Siege. Like I was a day one Siege player for a long time, but it wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
especially because I sunk so many hours into Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2, that I wanted kind of another like game in the line of that, and yeah, we didn't get it. So
yeah, I mean it's. I think
I'll send you the trailer.
Yeah, I have to see because I for some reason I don't remember. Which I mean, you and I definitely have to run through Division again because I guess with them adding the new Division and then eventually Division 3, I think, or supposedly, I don't know if they've officially announced Division 3, but that's the.
I think they did.
Okay.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I feel like they definitely said something.
Okay, so I got some Assassin's Creed stuff here.
Okay.
So Red will be the feudal Japan. They are speculating that Hex is going to take place during the 16th century witch trials.
Interesting. Okay.
And then Jade will take place in feudal China.
Okay.
That's really as far as they've talked about it. There's nothing about characters or anything, but just that's the time periods of the next three.
Gotcha.
And even the Hex, take with a grain of salt because it didn't seem super confident.
Yeah.
The Jade would make sense. Feudal state Japan.
What was the one that they did? It was like a PSP version, right? Where they did like China.
Shit.
But it didn't
not Liberation.
It was Liberation. No.
Was it? No,
Liberation was
the black pirate from
the Haitian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Black Flag. Yeah, but I think the
I think it's just
China
Assassin's Creed China.
I think the China one also like factored into that same timeline, and that's why it was like a PSP game.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles is what it was called. Because it wasn't just China. I don't think.
It was like.
Well, they had a China, but because it was PS. It's
PS Vita.
It's on Steam.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see.
I don't think it was released on like console.
Amazon Luna is one of the things it was released on.
Okay, yeah.
No, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Okay.
Looks like it's a side scroller.
Maybe that's why I didn't.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because they did China, they did the Russian one, which if there was one that I wish they had done a legit Assassin's Creed one, because the Russian guy actually has a book series with them, and it's actually pretty good. And they actually kind of introduced like some kind of guns outside like muskets, which I mean they kind of talk about how they couldn't do that, but All right, we're man. Wasn't even on the list of stuff we were gonna talk about.
Nope.
So because Porto's talked too much, we're gonna get a segment where Porto's not gonna really talk too much. Because for some reason, I guess me and Olas are the jolliest bunch of assholes in this chat. We are gonna do another rendition of the cream of the crops, and I, as per usual, gave Olas about 10 minutes notice.
Yeah.
So tonight's topic is going to be Christmas movies. And yes, you know what? I'll do holiday movies. We'll do holiday movies because there's a lot of holidays to go on during December.
Like Kwanzaa.
Like Kwanzaa.
Yeah, like Kwanzaa.
Fuck you guys. So do you have enough time or do you want me to go first?
I have mine, but I want you to go first.
Okay. So we'll as like last time, I will round this from 5 to 1. So number 5 has got to be Home Alone. I just think Home Alone is a fun Christmas movie. I think the Home Alone series in general is a great, besides like 3. When it stopped being Macaulay Culkin, it stopped being fun. But yeah, it's just such a classic movie. I still like, me and my dad will watch it at least once a year together before Christmas because that was kind of our movie growing up. Hell, we used to quote it all the time, and I even got some gloves right now that I call my Home Alone thief gloves because of those super thick like cotton gloves with the fingerless tips. So yeah, I think that's a good bottom tier to put that on. I'd say 4 would be Elf. We actually just watched that a few days ago. I'm not a big Will Ferrell guy in a lot of movies. Like there's like 4 movies I can kind of tolerate him in, but this is one that I just he is funny from the get-go of it, and I think it's just generally Will Ferrell just being stupid the whole time. I don't think it's any of him like try like I if you were to tell me that entire movie was ad-libbed by him, I'd believe it. Because it's just such random nonsense of like, there's no way somebody would write this in a script of like, hey, eat the bird shit off of a railing, you know, and do that as a bit. And just a classic Christmas movie. Let's see. Look, I have more time to think about this and I'm struggling.
Yeah, you came up with it, you fucking.
I know my first 2 and my last 2. It's the middle ground that's kind of hard for me of like, what would I put? So this is a really shitty Christmas movie, but it has I just enjoy it. It's Tim Allen's Santa Claus, like the first one.
Oh, the Santa Claus.
It absolutely doesn't hold up. It looks awful.
Yeah, but
but it's just there's something. It gives me that warm family feeling that just only Tim Allen could. Now, everything after that can just. Yeah, you know, you take it however you want to take it. All the ones after that are awful, including I guess whatever fucking TV show they're doing now with him. They did like a Santa Claus TV show last year.
Oh, did they really?
Where it was like I guess him passing it down to somebody. I didn't watch it because it looked really bad. Because they even brought like Bernard back. That was like the main elf from the first one to like do a cameo in it and shit like that. 2 would be Jim Carrey's The Grinch. And that's not shitting on like I love the original Grinch too, but there's just something specific about Jim Carrey as the Grinch. And like the fact that this guy had to get FBI torture training to like go through putting all that shit on. Which is super impressive and explains why Jim Carrey is as fucking nuts as he is.
Yeah.
And another one that just I mean, how many quotes in that movie I use regularly, and I still remember my dad took me to see that when I was a kid, and he fell asleep during it. And he still hates this movie to this day, and I don't understand why. I don't get it. It's such a good movie. He's like, it's so slow. Like, the fuck you mean it's slow? Like, what part of this is slow during any of this? Like, I think you're just stupid. That's all it is.
Fuck you, Dad.
And then number one for me, and it's Onyx family must watch. We watch it probably shit. I've watched it already 3 times, and it's only December 4th. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I sat there and quoted it at work a few days ago, and I had one of the, because most of the people I work with are older guys. So when I come off with something that seems out of my age realm of movies I should know, but they said something about, and it was like, oh, aren't you surprised this happened? And I go, I couldn't be any more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet. And I was like, the fuck? Like, yeah, it's just, my wife isn't crack me up because I never had the movie, but every year we would rent it. Well, you rent it 5 or 6 times. My wife just goes, just buy the goddamn movie so you don't have to spend money every time we want to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's better than your one. I know what your one's going to be, and it's better. So, but you go ahead. I'm curious, and I'm ready to see how many.
Do you want to give some holiday movies? I know you had one.
You had one holiday movie, yeah.
I have one. I just watch one holiday movie every holiday, and it's 8 Crazy Nights because it's the funniest thing Adam Sandler has ever put out, and I will defend it to my dying breath.
I wouldn't say it's the funniest, but it is top 5.
If you don't like it, that's a technical foul. I want you to know.
That's a technical foul.
It doesn't help that my coworker is basically whitey.
Oh God!
And he also hits the floor, starts shaking. But it's
shirts are just skins.
Jesus. Other than that, I don't really watch holiday movies. Not the biggest fan.
Porto's a Scrooge. It's fine. He doesn't believe in Christmas.
What a guy.
What a guy.
All right. I will go same like you. I will go from 5 to 1. I was torn between a couple of different ones to put here. I put Nightmare Before Christmas, which you could like consider a Halloween
or Christmas
movie, because it is both.
Yeah.
I had A Christmas Story that I had thought about putting.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And the other one, which was more recent, I went and saw it last year, which was Violent Night, which was
was that it was where he like fights the bad guys that kidnap the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's like, the whole Santa Claus thing is that he's like a Viking and like fucking he's got like the Viking tattoo. God,
who is it that plays him in that? It's because I keep thinking Goldberg, and that's the horror movie one.
No, it's the guy that plays Hopper on.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Stranger Things, and I like his name is in my brain somewhere, but I can't think of it. It's David something, and I don't know what his last.
David Harbour.
No.
It's I'm looking at it. It's David Harbour.
David Harbour?
Harbour.
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 Harbour. Well, I thought you said Harper.
You said Hopper.
It's just his last. Yeah, it's just his name from the movie or the TV show. Apparently, they might be making a second one.
That would be fun. For number 4, I put Charlie Brown Christmas. Used to watch it all the time as a kid.
Old man hitting all the fucking classics. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
If you say Miracle on 34th Street, I'm kicking you out of the call.
It's a Wonderful Life. Charlie Brown. But no, Charlie Brown Christmas. I have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Same, actually.
They're great. I put it up every year. It's my favorite. It's my favorite decoration. For 3, I just put Grinch. I was torn between both.
Yeah.
The original and the Jim Carrey.
Have you watched the new one? Like the animated new one? I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, good.
It's really boring.
Yeah.
Once you've seen the first 2, it's like you're just making a movie that's not going to compare.
They're both iconic in completely different ways. I mean, the music for the original animated was
Yeah.
obviously so fun. Um, but obviously, like you were saying, the Jim Carrey version is phenomenal. I saw somebody posted like a shirt. It's like a custom made shirt,
Yeah.
but it's like the list of things that like he has planned.
5 o'clock.
And I was like, oh, I kind of want one.
Yeah.
And I was gonna like wear it for Christmas. Because she won't buy me the cream of the crop Macho Man ugly sweater that I saw, and I was like, all right. She asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I sent her that, and she was like, I'm not getting you that. And I went, you're a fucking bitch, bro. Like that's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, I talk shit to my wife all the time. And it's only because she can kick my ass. 2, I put Home Alone. It's another movie I watched the shit out of. Even when it wasn't Christmas, I watched the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Love that movie. And yeah, number 1, I put Die Hard because it's a Christmas.
It's not
movie.
a fucking Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas.
Just because that movie takes place, then Lethal Weapon 2 is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but it's not a good one.
Yo.
I fucking can't. I fucking can't with you.
It's not on my top 5.
I stand by that fact that just because Christmas is during a movie doesn't make it inherently a Christmas movie.
There are some of those where that is true.
Because like I said, Lethal Weapon would be a Christmas movie because literally one of the purposes it happens during Christmas.
Yeah, and there are some movies where it happens during Christmas. And I was like, oh, I really like that movie, but I don't consider that a Christmas movie. Die Hard, I consider a Christmas movie.
Ugh.
It's not, but okay.
I did
Listen,
see
why?
You either think Die Hard is a Christmas movie or
you're wrong.
You know why it's not a Christmas movie?
Why?
Because I've seen it.
Because they only reference Christmas once in the entire movie.
So there you go. That's your favorite Christmas movie because that's
No,
the
it's
only
not.
one you've seen.
No. That
So
means
you
I hate-
have you have a favorite Christmas
No,
I think you're full of
hate all
shit.
of 'em
I think you're
equally.
full of shit.
movie?
I hate all of them equally.
You hit me
It's
like
it's okay, Scrooge.
you hit me like a fucking what was
Alright, go
the
ahead.
I'm trying to think of the movie. God dang it. I had it because you said Scrooge and I was trying to think of what movie that was. Is it where the ghost come, Scrooge, where they come see him, the ghost come see him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably his favorite movie.
Never seen it. No
Ah,
idea.
that's gonna bother me. I can't remember what it is.
A Christmas Story?
No,
Christmas.
that's a different. So I
A
like
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. There we go. I like and hate Christmas Story at the same time. So I think it's a good movie, but I also remember like TBS, that was all they ever played.
Yeah.
Because it was a 24-hour like and sit there and watch it. And of course my dad loves that movie, and so that's all we ever fucking watched. I do have another kind of a stupid Christmas tradition that we haven't done in a long time because the channel that used to do it isn't on anymore. But one of the channels used to run a James Bond marathon prior to Christmas. Spike, here you go, yeah. And my dad and I, every night we would watch James, like Dr. No and Goldfinger, and
Yeah, my dad's a huge James Bond fan, so that was fun for us too.
and then
You know what oddly played a lot during Christmas time? Willy Wonka.
yeah. Yeah, well, see, but inherently, I would say that would make sense because although they never, at least the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one, they never specify that it's Christmas, but it almost kind of feels like it's during Christmas
Yes.
because there's a lot of snow and shit like that.
It's like cold and yeah.
Yeah, it's some of it. I think it's just because they're poor, but
Yeah. It's just showing you how
how poor they are. It's so fucking
Like they're
cold.
living in squalor, and you're like, oh shit. It's probably like 80 degrees out, but like it feels sick.
It only snows in that one spot.
It just snows in Poorville, like it's just like fucking terrible. But
oh god.
yeah, because we used to watch that a lot and like put up decorations. Like that would be on while I just distinctly remember like putting decorations on the tree and that's playing. like every year. So
What's it's funny you mentioned that. So we were watching TV and my wife saw that the new Wonka movie coming out. And like all angrily for some reason goes, God, how many of these movies do they have to make? And I go, well, this is only the third one. There's only been 3. Like oh well, I was like, it's like at least it's a different concept than the first 2. Like it's just them remaking it again. I was like, what is your fucking issue with Willy Wonka, bro?
Like, how did he hurt you?
Yeah, unneeded aggression here. Jesus Christ.
Did he touch your chocolate factory?
Show me on the doll where he hurt you. Like that's
it's like I struck a fucking nerve somewhere. Right. My bad. Sorry.
Who took candy away from you as a child?
Like, Violet, you're turning violet. Jesus Christ, boy. I don't hear a lot of people talk about the Charlie Brown one. My mom's a big Charlie Brown guy, or my mom and dad are big Charlie Brown people.
Yeah.
And I like it too. It's just if I had to choose like 5 movies to watch during Christmas.
That's just the Thanksgiving one was dope too. Like I just don't watch a lot of TV anymore, so like I didn't watch it during Thanksgiving either. But yeah, that was a big thing for us.
I did watch Frosty, like the OG Frosty, with my daughter, and I was like, this kind of sucks. Like this isn't good. So she can't say Frosty. She can only say Krusty. And so it's Krusty the Snowman. My mom goes, who the hell is Krusty the Snowman? You just don't understand. All right. So let's get into obviously the cream of this podcast crap, the wrestling part of this.
Wrestling.
All right, AEW, you guys go ahead. Talk about AEW. Well, I zone out for the next 20 minutes. It's my turn.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Each one of us has had a no talking time. This is my no talking time.
Yeah, talk to us
about how much you hate
C2
Eddie Kingston.
Classic.
Like an Eddie Owen to Kingston.
Exactly. He's gonna mount a comeback, and by the time World's End comes around, he's gonna be the winner. I got Eddie. No, I'm kidding. Eddie Kingston's not winning that fucking belt. If it's not fucking Swerve, I'm gonna be pissed. I want Swerve to win because he needs it.
I need a hype man like that.
Yeah.
He just beat clean. Oh, he just beat Jay White clean.
Yep.
Damn, Jay White taking a lot of L's here lately.
No, I get what they're doing with Jay White. They want deranged post G1 Classic interview type Jay White, where he's just unhinged and going off every 2 seconds.
Is he still partnered with the Guns?
Yes.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson is injured with a bad back, and
as rule,
and part of the Continental Classic is everyone is banned from ringside. There is no interference. There is no screwy finishes with these matches.
Okay.
So they can't overbook the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's simple one-on-one matches. No shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
Tony Khan's losing his mind.
No, I feel like this was just because Danielson wanted to do a G1 and like, I don't want you away from AEW to do a whole G1.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So Moxley and Swerve are leading the blue. Which is it, gold or blue?
Gold, I think.
Yeah. With 6 apiece.
Because blue is
blue is Danielson, Eddie, Claudio,
and Brody.
Yeah.
Right?
Brody. We're missing. I feel like we're Roosh and Daniel Garcia.
Oh, right.
Because it's 6 apiece.
Yeah, I just forget about the ones that are clearly not going anywhere.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Gold is Moxley, Swerve, Jay Briscoe, Jay Lethal. Mark Briscoe. Sorry,
Mark
fuck.
Briscoe. I was gonna say
See that?
Mark Briscoe.
Mark
Yeah.
Briscoe. Sorry, because I thought
Jay Briscoe came back from the grave to fucking wrestle in the
Look.
C2 Classic.
It's a long night, and I was thinking of Jay Lethal right next. Jay
Yeah.
Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
Boy,
Jay
they
Lethal's
brought
gonna
him
win
in
it.
just to take the pin. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Lethal was eating nothing but pins. Who was the other two?
Comeback wins. That's a. I don't know. I'm always a fan of Jay Lethal.
Yeah, he's a decent wrestler.
I need to bring back. You know, with Ric Flair. Well, I guess he may not be back much longer, but with Ric Flair being back, they should absolutely do Ric Flair or Jay Flair, Rick Lethal.
Like, no, get him away from that TNA honky.
Bring back Black Machismo.
Oh my god! Say what you want. I loved that fucking those two gimmicks. Him doing the Flair and just doing all the OG wrestlers was great.
Yeah.
And I mean, in all fairness, they like WWE didn't try that. What was it? Curtis Axel did the whole where he was like a different. What was it?
Like
wasn't it Curtis Axel that did that? I know
he did like a Hogan thing for Axelmania.
Yeah,
he did for a while.
No, they had Mega Powers, right?
Yeah,
him and Sandow, right?
I think
that you're right. Yes, because Sandow was the Macho Man.
Yeah,
that's right. Oh my god, that's
such a weird like.
And they had that like brief run with Charlie Haas where he was like everybody for like a couple of weeks.
And then they also did it with Dolph Ziggler, but with only entrances.
Oh yeah, Naomi.
Yeah,
Trinity now.
That, and then he did what Shawn Michaels at one point, and then he did Undertaker. Reused gimmicks. But continue on. Sorry, I got off topic. Talking about Rick Lethal.
Rick Lethal. Yeah. It's fucking astounding.
But again, this just kind of shows that all the former ROH champions
don't mean shit.
Are just there to take the pin, or there to put the AEW guys over.
Well, Danielson's a former ROH champion.
There's a select few where you're.
I just had to.
I would say less of one than the others.
Let me reiterate. All the ROH guys that didn't win anything in NXT or WWE are there to just take the pin.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, they're getting the WCW after WWE bought them treatment.
Yeah,
they're just there. They're not the big guys. They were, either former tag champs or US champs or whoever, and they're just there to get the shit kicked out of them. Look at DDP and WWE. Look at fucking, like, yeah, like a lot of those guys that were just there to be the butt of a joke or just get the shit kicked out of them.
I wish DDP had got a better push.
What it feels like it really just feels like they bring them in and it's like, oh, these were your champions. Yeah, fuck these guys. Like, they're not better than my guys, even though they are your guys. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
There is no more competition. It's they're yours now.
It's a weird decision to you bought the company mostly for the library. Like, we know that's why he bought it.
Yeah.
He bought the company so that they could have the library, so that WWE didn't get the library. But then you have a show that
is carried on the back of Athena.
That's it.
I stand by this. She is the greatest thing on AEW. I mean, well, fuck it. She's one of the best things that
Athena is Ember Moon, right?
Yes. Yeah. She is ROH Women's Champion.
I always liked Ember Moon.
She had a tag match against Marina Shafir and fucking Ronda Rousey this year.
Yeah.
Fucking
put that on your 2023 bingo card. Yeah.
Fucking, you had Jay Cargill in WWE and Ronda Rousey in fucking ROH.
What a weird trade.
Year.
And then I saw a really funny post. Since it was like back during the WWE draft or whatever, and it was like a CM Punk entrance. And Michael Cole goes, "Oh my God, that's who we got in exchange for Edge. This is great." And you're like, "Ha, look at this." So, like,
honestly.
in 2023, who would have thought that Edge would be in AEW and Punk would be back in WWE?
I mean, in all fairness, Punk had made a WWE return, just not on like a roster.
Yeah, technically, he wasn't working
Back
for
when
WWE.
Renee, well,
he was
working for Fox.
Working for
He was a Fox.
Oh, okay. Is that how they divided it, or was it?
Yeah. So
because Fox was asking for him.
Yes.
That wasn't a WWE call. That
Gotcha.
was a Fox
Okay.
thing.
And
we want
so the
CM
thing
Punk.
is too is that there were rumblings of them trying to make something happen.
Because I remember you and I talking about that when we saw that he was on their show. I was like, oh shit, I think he might be coming back. Like, I wonder if he's gonna come back now.
Yeah, they had rumblings of that trying to get worked out. And obviously it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he went to AEW for about a year.
Probably, yeah. That's about the time frame.
Two, yeah.
2 years, but
yeah.
it felt like
he was hurt for like
he was
hurt for
because he got his ass kicked in the UFC, and then
Hey, listen, he's 2-0 in backstage fights. He's 0-2 in the UFC, but he's 2-0 in backstage fights.
So 2-2 if you count it,
Yeah,
it's an even record.
50-50
Hey, I still stand by. Even being 0-2, he had the balls to do it, and I give him credit for that. Because not many guys would have put their money where their mouth was. And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. And they took the ass whoopings. And
Batista had that short run.
Bellator.
In Bellator.
Bellator's garbage. I don't recognize.
Bobby
Lashley had that pretty decent run in Bellator.
And didn't Alberto Del Rio bet like a WWE championship he had against who was it? It was like a dumb UFC fight where he bet his belt and he lost.
Yeah.
Like fucking easily.
Well, he got the shit kicked out of him in Pride.
Yeah.
When he was still wearing the mask.
Yeah.
But this was like a dumb bet that he made that he could kick somebody's ass, and I forgot who the fuck it was with.
The only other person I remember going to MMA briefly was Jake Hager.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
He retired.
Yeah.
Onyx, didn't you confuse him retiring from
Shut up.
Bellator to AEW?
Yeah. In my defense, Facebook articles are not very forthcoming with information.
Never look at a Facebook article.
Because I go, oh shit, like we were just talking about this guy. Like, God, that's awful. And I'm reading because I do kind of a synopsis, like the first few lines of it.
Ortiz, that's who it was.
Oh God, fuck that guy too. That guy's a cancer to UFC. Yeah, I guess not UFC anymore, but
didn't he get locked up?
Yeah, because he's fucking an asshole.
No, he's no.
No, I know. Yeah, like I don't remember what it was for, but yeah, he legitimately. Yeah, I assuming it was assault or
attempted murder. I think.
Fucking idiot.
No, dude was like, according to the story, is what really somber note. The guy who was assisting the daycare was assaulting like a family, like
God damn it,
like a kid.
Yeah.
Right?
God damn it, I gotta root for Tito Ortiz now.
So Tito heard about it, got really fucking pissed, and just chased him with a gun.
Yep.
Like shot him, like full commit. Like he's dying today.
Yep.
God damn it. I gotta root for Tito Ortiz. I mean, he is an asshole. Let's not pretend like Tito Ortiz isn't an asshole.
So is Nate Griffin, but
no, yeah, I mean, they're all kind of assholes.
Yeah.
Except Matt Riddle. He was the one good one.
Okay. Congratulations, you just had a kid.
Another one? God damn.
Yeah, with his porn star girlfriend.
Maybe this one will like him.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's our show, folks. We'll be back.
So when he shows up at your house,
freaking kicks the flops off and just starts wailing on you.
I'm not Goldberg. I'll fight him back. That's fine. I'm trained to it, bro. Like, these things happen.
Oh God! Not wrestle that one going.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all your all's AEW circle jerking or?
We talked offline about the whole the devil storyline.
Yeah, CM
And it
Punk.
could be Warlow.
MJ, yeah, Wardlow is clearly one of them because the next segment was
I said,
his match and his hair
then
was
it would
all
have to be
fucked
people
up.
from MJF's past.
Well, because
So
I originally
Wardlow,
thought it was going to be the Kingdom.
no,
One
because
of
that
them's
makes
Adam
no sense.
With
Cole.
the whole, well, because Adam Cole and Roddy was
Yeah,
trying to, yeah,
but it would make no sense for them to pull the whole devil stick. If
I
it's
guess.
if Warlow is one of the people, that makes it seem like all the people in the group are people from MGF's past
It's Cody.
who who's he's worked with or been partners with. So who does that
What's
rule out? I would say that makes Jack Perry actually seem like competent
the
because the whole thing was because he treated him like a little brother and it was like, oh yeah, you can have a seat beside a throne and huh.
unless they pull guys from MLW, but
No, because they have to be recognizable for them to pull the whole. They have to be hooded most of the time.
no, they,
So
but they
Warlow,
don't
Jack
though. That's the
Perry,
problem. That's the thing I was saying to you before about AEW programming is like they just have to have wrestled before, and because you're supposed to know who everybody who ever wrestled ever is when they get to AEW with like zero explanation. And it's like, hey, if I don't watch like New
but
Japan
no, but this
and
seems
like
like more like the
just
people are
one
already
dude, you know what I
established.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean maybe it's possible, but if you're saying it's from MJF's past, who does he really have? I mean, it's not Cody. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, who
no.
does he really have like a strong connection with?
Cody and CM Punk.
Right. Those are
FTR,
the other two guys. Yeah.
FTR, Sean Spears,
Oh, because he had the that.
Pinnacle.
Yeah. I don't like thinking about that whole little faction because it was the
It led to
fucking
the fucking
Jericho thing, and I was
yeah.
just like, yeah, I
Oh yeah,
can't.
no, I blocked it out. Warlow, but I
Wasn't
wouldn't say
his
it's weird
bodyguard
because
Wardlow?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying I couldn't remember if that was who it was.
So because they split during the CM Punk dog collar match
Yeah.
because of the ring. Um,
MJF is also hurt, torn labrum.
yes,
Yeah.
but I think Samoa Joe might win the belt at World's End.
Well, if he's hurt and he's wrestling anyway, I would
You would
hope so,
assume.
so that he can go.
You could really end it with Samoa Joe wins. He's laying there beaten. The masked man come out. Devil shows himself. They beat up MJF, and that takes him out of TV.
Then Damian Priest catches.
Yeah, it's just a shame that they like already kind of announced that he was hurt, so that they can't really like
Who's
you're gonna
hurt?
write him off
MJF or
MJF,
Yes,
yeah.
gotcha.
So when you write him off of TV, you know because he's already hurt
Yeah.
that's why they're writing him off TV, as opposed to just writing him
but
off TV and claiming he got the injury from. You know what I mean? Like keep some of it, keep some of the kayfabe
but
alive. Like
he did that, but he announced that, not AEW themselves.
yeah,
So that it's he backpedaled it with the promo he did this week where he had
right,
the cane and he snaps the cane, throws it, basically saying he doesn't
fair,
need it.
right.
So basically saying he's hurt, but he'll wrestle through it. He's a fighting champion.
He's an
Did you
entertainer.
also see, since we're on the AEW side of things at the moment, did you also see that like a couple of different people liked a tweet that like accused him because he said something
He's
about like
taking too
keeping the
much
moment
time.
alive. Did you see the thing about him
Yeah,
like keeping the moment alive, and then like somebody was like, "You basically killed the moment" or something like that, or blah blah blah, and like Britt Baker liked it, Sammy Guevara liked it, and like somebody else, maybe Jack Perry liked it. I don't remember who it
yeah.
was, but it
It
was
was
like,
a random
oh,
third. But this is the
are
thing.
are we
Britt is
doing
the only
that
one.
for the sake of a story, or are we doing that because we
We just
forget
don't
that
like
like
him.
Twitter likes
Yeah.
are fucking public, like.
But that seems so odd because the only reason Sammy's not on TV is because one, he's having a kid, and two, well, he recently just had a kid. Funny,
They
yeah,
just had the baby.
them. It's weird because Alexa Bliss had her kid like 2 days after,
Yeah.
so that kid's like, but and two, he would have been on TV normally if it wasn't for the fact that he got a concussion.
Right.
because he was part of the Don Callis family. He was gonna have a match with Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah, I
On
forgot about
Yeah,
Callus.
and then he got a concussion. So him not being on TV is due to him having a concussion. That's on him.
right.
I get Britt throwing
Brit
a
being
his
upset about and not getting
her
any
is a
promo
legit
time and not
hers is legitimate. She has legitimate gripe, but that's a drop in the bucket of Tony doesn't know how to book women for real. They need
like
to
at
hire
all. Yeah.
get Maria a better fucking position in that company and let her book the women's division, and I'm pretty sure it'll be 20 times better.
You're talking Maria Kanellis.
Canellis, yes.
Yeah.
Put her because they can't get someone like Gail Campbell, Mickey James, someone like that.
It would be nice,
Maria
but
Maria is right there. She has
the experience.
the experience
Yeah.
to put together at least something more competent than
Because they
Sky
have a
Blue has gotten
decent roster, and it's just like they're just not doing shit with it. And like, I'm sorry, but like Sky Blue is now in a program for the women's championship after she just lost a match for the TBS title, and you're
You
like,
want to know how many championships opportunities she's gotten this year?
how
12.
many? I'm curious.
8.
It's
No, it's 8.
well,
She's
isn't
gotten
that the
8.
same thing with like Jared had all those fucking like title
Yeah,
matches or whatever?
but
this
loses
year.
every opportunity to get like every time they're in like a match, they say, "Oh, this person win. This person will win and get an opportunity." She always loses.
Right. So
Like Emi
reward her for
Sakurai is
another.
also
Pseudo
another
reverse.
person who loses a lot, but
Right.
still finds her way into a title picture.
Yeah, it's insane.
Hmm.
So
Speaking of funny things that I saw, so AEW's been having a lot of overruns for Dynamite the last like bunch of weeks, where they're
yes.
going like time over. And apparently a lot of people are having issues with like their DVRs because they're not recording
Oh
past
man, yeah.
Yeah, because it
fucking
stops.
10 o'clock. So there was a lovers quarrel spat on the Wrestling Observer this past week between Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer because Brian Alvarez was on the side of the people going, listen, they should schedule that. NXT has a run over almost every week and they have it scheduled. When Raw used to have runovers all the time, it was scheduled.
It was scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now AEW is having these runovers and they're not scheduled. And like Dave, who will just suck the teat of AEW no matter what they do for the most part, um, was like, well, that it's not planned. And I'm like, dude, cut fucking 10 minutes every day out of your fucking show if you can't get it to stay within the time frame.
Especially if
Or
it's consistent.
just if it's consistently 10 minutes over or whatever it is over, fucking schedule it. Like, you have people like missing out. You know how many people are going to stop wanting to watch because they're not going to be able to watch the last like 10 minutes of the show because it's not fucking recorded?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are working. You could sit here and be like, yeah, haha, the AEW fans are just a bunch of neckbeards that sit at home with no jobs and watch it live. But a lot of people fucking DVR it. And if you're not like, and Meltzer's telling people like, yeah, you just got to understand, like, you just have to have it to record the thing that's coming on after. And it's like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know what's coming on after unless I have to do all this extra work to know what's coming on after the show to then set it to record that so that I can get the last like 7 minutes of a fucking show that should have already been like pre fucking done. Like, it's so stupid. You're driving people away for the dumbest shit. And then like their fucking ratings go in the shitter for it for that final like quarter, that overrun quarter. It's
There's such a drop
like,
off.
yeah, it's terrible. So I thought that was funny. I caught bits and pieces of it, and then I caught Cornette reacting to it and just kind of laughing over it, like, and just kind of like saying the same thing, like, yeah, just schedule an overrun. Like, you're making it seem like they don't know what they're doing, which is not a good look for them because it just looks like they have no idea how to function with the TV, like, for the TV business.
I think then you gotta wonder how much of their overruns ever actually needed, because I do
Well,
think
it's like, can't you cut like 10 minutes out of
cut that MJF
something?
promo 10 minutes short. You know.
Well, even I mean, listen, that's your champion. You don't want to cut his stuff short, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's something that they could have cut, or you know what I mean, or just have something else happen.
Can't cut the Swerve Strickland dance short.
No,
Gotta have all of that.
right. His entrance alone needs like a whole segment, so it's fine. But yeah, I found that really funny that like they are consistently overrunning and consistently not addressing it.
Seems like a lot of things.
I think last week it was
par.
like 16 minutes, wasn't it? Like
Jeez.
15 minutes or something like that for an overrun.
Yeah.
So you missed like basically a whole nother quarter of the show if you were trying to DVR it, especially the last quarter of the show. Like,
because they'll start doing entrances at like 9:45.
yeah, that's
So by the time the match starts, it's 9:50.
Yeah.
So
then they need to have a 10-minute match. Like, I thought it was
the
a whole like
for the classic is 20 minutes a match.
right, but and that's normal, right? Like that's always the 20-minute time limit, blah blah blah. I remember even back in the WWF days when they used to do that, it was a 20-minute time limit unless it was the main event. But even then, like when AEW started, it was the 20-minute time limit, or it goes until the show is over, right? Like that was the main event thing. Like it goes until the end of the show, and if it ends in a draw or whatever, it ends in a draw. And
Yeah.
obviously, at the time, it never ended in a draw, but
got to keep away to keep it consistent.
We can sit here and say, "Oh, it's a sports-based presentation." Yeah, except the sports
schedule
unless you're the NFL or right now with the referees in the NBA, it's not scripted.
Yeah.
So like, when the football game goes over its time, the DVR like knows that and will record at least an extra 30 to 45 minutes or whatever extra in case it goes over. AEW currently doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like just fix it.
I don't disagree.
Crazy.
All right.
I'm gonna praise them in like 10 minutes. So I don't want us to think here that I'm just here to shit on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. And then so last week we had Survivor Series. Porto didn't really care about it. Well, he cared about it, but I believe your words were that you were very underwhelmed.
Yeah, so
I disagree.
If you take out Randy and Punk coming back,
you had our truth, bro. Come on, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
the real return,
the biggest return.
Good on Triple H.
Yeah, it's an average show.
Yeah.
It's Cody and the Boys versus
Cody and the Boys. I want that T-shirt.
Yeah,
Cody and the Boys.
Yeah, it was an okay. It was an okay show. You had Randy come back, that was great. You had Truth come back, that was great. Obviously, Punk coming back at the end with the false.
I have to burn the shirt now. So
is that the AEW one?
Yeah.
I mean,
just spray paint it. Do an India BO thing.
Cover the AEW thing.
Speaking of spray painting, has anyone ever followed like Ice Cube's son?
Yes.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
No.
I follow his son.
Fucking bitching this guy does about WWE and AEW. Like,
really?
He's a huge wrestling fan.
He's a big AEW hater. Honestly. It's like
he's not though, because he does like a lot of their stuff. It's just
he likes it, but he's the
things he doesn't like. Yeah. Him and this is another thing on my bingo card for 2023. Him and Sean Ross Sapp had like a weird spat back and forth. Because Sean Ross Sapp, if you don't know, is like one of the main guys behind Fightful Select, who is one of the big guys that like report a lot of the insider stuff, and like he's the one that get the scoops more often than not. I think Mike Johnson from Insider, yeah, he's like the other big one that like gets a lot of the inside scoops of things. But I follow Sean Ross Sapp, and I do know that he can come across like a cock a lot, like for no reason, like unprovoked almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the big thing was we saw that the Danielson story came out, um,
Then he
where he was
handed
like a
the
part of the committee, but then he like walked it back, like that wasn't quite accurate with how it was reported. That he was like the guy that fired CM Punk, basically. But then he was like, "Well, no, I'm a part of the committee, um, and I like Phil, but obviously, like this was not okay." But when the report came out, I do think it's weird timing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's clearly like, ha, this was the time to do it. He
Yeah.
came back to WWE. Um, this is what happened all of a sudden, but it's been months now. Like it's been 2 months. Why are we now bringing
Just
it out?
learning of this. Yeah.
So
like it's
O'Shea,
unnecessary information while he got
O'Shea,
fired.
O'Shea Jr. was like he quoted it and was like, "Why is this coming out now?" Just in like a timing thing,
I think I remember seeing this. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Sean Ross Sapp was like, "Well, we just verified the information, and that's how reporting works." And it's like, all right, you didn't need to do that. Like, you could have just been like, "Hey, listen, we just got it verified. Like, we had heard about it when it originally happened, but we didn't want to report it until it
We
was
knew it was
verified."
accurate.
But like when you throw the, "Well, that's how reporting works," it's like, yeah, all right, that's an unnecessary step in that direction.
And in O'Shea's defense, I mean, that does seem oddly timed to just, all of a
Well,
sudden.
the other thing too is, and I said this and nobody responded to it in the group chat. Anytime something big happens for WWE, have you ever noticed that like AEW wrestlers will randomly like either thank Tony Khan or like proclaim their love for AEW like out of nowhere? Like CM Punk came back and like the one dude from 2.0 is like AEW saved wrestling, and then like somebody else got on and was like, Tony Khan's the greatest thing ever. I just thank you for Tony Khan. And then somebody else was like, I love my job. And it's just like, why are we doing this?
Cool. Who asked? Literally no one.
Like, I think they did the same thing when they fired Punk. Like, everybody was like, oh my God, Tony Khan's the greatest boss I've ever had. And blah. Like, it's just a weird timing thing.
Big, I give. See, I had to be the
Like, like,
Come on,
like
AEW guy. What you got?
no, you
No,
know what it is?
because
It's my
you have to hear
conspiracy
the
theory brain goes, "Ah, we're doing that to like, oh, okay. Like, we're clearly not hurt by this."
It's like a
That's
cult.
what it makes it feel like to
yeah.
me.
No,
It's like Scientology.
No. That's what it is because every time something big in WWE happens, it's dumbass. It's a fucking minority that does it. It's a constant. Oh, AEW's finished. WWE got the big is the big league. It's like they're preemptively doing this just to counteract that, but it's
Yeah,
like
but it's
you
stupid.
don't. It's
Because it
unnecessary.
makes it makes you look softer than you already did
Yeah,
with everything, because it's like you're defending yourselves from criticism from morons that don't.
deserve it.
Yeah, like you're getting ahead of it. And like it's cool to have an online presence, but like we how much did we shit on Tony for when he was having his mental breakdown when they were
Yeah,
doing the head to head with WWE, and like you came out looking like an idiot, and had he not done all of the things he did, they could
no
have
one would
walked
care.
away on the they could have walked away with the moral high ground and been like, "Hey, man, like, yeah, we lost, but bro,
You
we
put on a
lost.
great show. Yeah,
We put on a great show," and they did, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. They
Took away
put on
from
a
it.
great show, and I didn't care because I was like, "Fuck Tony, bro! Like this is so annoying." He could have sat here and went, "Listen, we put on a great show. We didn't need to, bump it up." But we lost to The Undertaker and John Cena and Cody. Like, we lost to these guys. And that's okay. I'll take that loss.
There was
Because we
anybody to
still put
lose
on,
to.
right.
yeah.
Because we still put on a great show. Because they
But
did. And if you would have just stuck to that, that would have been the end of it. And had we not had to like address and like more power to Tony Khan, because somebody did interview him and ask him about it, like the CM Punk signing, and he said,
oh,
I can't talk about it, blah blah
legally
blah.
they can't talk about it,
Yeah. So like, okay,
which
whatever
led to
that
people being
situation is,
upset.
yeah. But like the he shows up on Survivor Series and everybody's like, "Oh, AEW is the greatest. AEW saved wrestling." And it's like, guys, don't do this.
Yeah.
it makes you guys look weak, like you're like, oh shit, because
Circle the wagons.
it makes it seem
It's
like
totally
everything that these people are saying is how you guys feel, and it's like a coping mechanism to deal with the fact that you feel like you guys are finished.
but how many tweets did they have to pop up and say, "Oh, CM Punk's home"? First of all, I hate that. That the whole CM Punk has come home thing. Fucking hate that narrative.
That's a Vince
Even
thing.
WWE, even WWE did it. It's like if you want to be that guy, home for CM Punk will be ROH.
I mean, it is WWE too, though.
Yeah.
Because you could say it's TNA because
Eh,
he spent time in TNA
no, no,
before
no.
he was
But
like,
Spent
the
time in
most over he's
OVW.
been would be ROH. What he's most known for. Like
well, what
him
he's
in his
most
prime,
known for is
him
WWE.
at him in his prime will be ROH. If you
Disagree.
really want to be that guy.
No.
He was. I get the Summer Punk happened, but he was over in fucking ECW, but he was never actually over. He wanted to be over.
I mean, he was pretty over from like 2011 till he
He
left.
was like Jeff Hardy type over, where no
But
one
that's
really
still
pegged him
pretty
as champion.
fucking over. And I mean, but he was champion for like a
He was
year
world
and
heavy.
some odd time straight.
Yeah, WWE champion. They gave him like the reign of mid carders. Like they gave people who normally didn't get opportunities for a WWE
I
championship.
mean, he wrestled Cena. He wrestled.
Yeah,
I mean,
Taker.
Del Rio. He wrestled Del
Yeah.
Rio, and Del Rio was a champion caliber.
He won because he won a championship because he cashed in. Honestly, he was world heavyweight champion.
Well,
Second
that was
tier.
the world heavyweight champion. But when he was WWE champion, he wrestled Cena. He wrestled Del Rio, who was a champion at that point. At one point, he wrestled Danielson.
Undertaker, didn't he?
Well,
No, not
that
for
wasn't while
championship.
he
Oh, it
was
was
champion.
pre champion.
That was for streak.
Yeah, that was a WrestleMania match. Which
Yeah.
again, he wrestled the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
But I'm
Like,
talking about as a WWE champion, like his championship run is not that impressive when you think about it.
Well,
sure.
neither is Roman Reigns. I mean, it isn't.
I mean,
and he's over. I mean, that's.
Daniel Bryan was over
be
and
over.
didn't have a strong championship run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Like,
wasn't backed by the company. That was just fans.
yeah, but
I would also say
Punk was
CM
backed
Punk's
by
is-
the company and the
Yeah,
fans.
he's a
Yeah.
fan. He's a fan. He was a guy that was over the fans, not backstage. Vince
Either
didn't like. He rubbed shoulders with the wrong people, I guess.
Right, but the whole like coming home thing was always like a Vince thing. Like anytime it's like you're coming back home to the WWE family, and I know people are ragging on Punk for saying he's back home. And again, so I mentioned it earlier. A lot of people hate watch. A lot of like the AEW like anti-Punk and anti-WWE fans watched Raw
But
just to like see what Punk would do, and then there were some things, and this is why I'm gonna praise AEW. The way WWE handled Raw bothered me. Um, they made no mention of like Punk except for Rollins, kind of just quickly going, I don't want to talk about that hypocrite, which clearly they're building that,
up,
right?
yeah,
They're building
that's
that.
the Mania match.
And I just like they gave Punk like 6 minutes
That's
on his
Give or
big
take.
return back, and I did see that there was like some things that might have overrun, like match wise, that kind of cut into his time.
The Dominic Randy match went over. That's what the
Yeah.
problem was.
So okay, and like there wasn't a lot that he said, like it was kind of a nothing sandwich, but like he did, and I saw something. I forgot who said it. It might have been Mark Henry because I was watching the Busted Open podcast with him and Bully.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? And Triple H said it during the thing. If you're the same guy you were 10 years ago, you're doing something wrong, right? Which is true.
Yeah.
We all have to grow up, we all have to mature. And you could tell that Punk loved WWE at some point. Obviously not in the last like 10 years. But he loved WWE, which is why he was so hurt by the way things happened, which is why he was like,
I wouldn't even say he hated WWE. I think he mainly hated the higher ups and the politics of it.
right, but like he clearly loved WWE. His aspirations were WWE champion. His aspirations were main eventing WrestleMania, which is hopefully about to happen because I think the smart money says him and Seth night one, Cody and
Reigns night
Roman
2.
night 2. I think
Yeah.
that's fucking fantastic. I kind of wish I was there even more now, since it is only 2 hours from my house, but whatever. Um, I think kind of like he got his heart broken by the way things happened, and he was just like, you feel that certain way about an ex that you like really really loved, and then she fucked you over, and you're like, fuck that bitch. Like anytime her name comes up, and you're like, fuck that bitch. Does it make him seem hypocritical? Yeah, a little bit. Do I think that obviously he went back because he wanted to go back? Like this whole idea, and we were making the joke about Ryback earlier. Like the whole idea that he needs the money to go back. It's clearly not the case.
That was the case. He'd have been everywhere else up until this point.
Right. I do think he, finally, and you could sit here and say maybe Vince not being around played a part in that too, where like maybe the lack of Vince opened that door back up a little more. But I mean, him and Triple H had problems, and they're
But
seemingly okay-ish now.
I think and I could be wrong about this. I think a lot of the issues people had with Triple H, especially when he became into that authoritarian role, was because of Vince. Because to me at that point, I don't see Vince being the one to drop the hammer, but I see that being a passed off to Triple H of like, hey, this is what they're doing. You're gonna be the one telling them we're doing this.
So well, I think other than NXT, if you're talking like 10 years ago, Triple H's role was not very, clearly compared to what he's doing now.
Yeah.
I mean, up until what, a year ago, or even
no, because wasn't it during
a couple of months ago?
I mean, during Punk's and he was one of the, wasn't he like? Didn't they do a fucking storyline where he was like in charge?
Yeah, but I mean,
but
at the end of the day, Vince was the final say of everything.
Yeah, Vince was still being creative.
No matter what happened at the end of the day, Triple H was the COO and all that stuff, but Vince was still the guy calling the shots for everything. Nothing got run by without Vince's approval or without Vince changing it and all that. So I think we're seeing now, and people can sit here and be like, Triple H hasn't really done anything. I think we can obviously see the difference now.
Yeah.
But also, like, we have to remember, Triple H is the guy that got Bruno back to do, like the appearances in the Hall of Fame and stuff like, that. Triple H has been the guy that's been like brokering that bridge of bringing people back to WWE to
the best part about Shawn Michaels and Triple H being head of creative, whether it's just NXT for Shawn and Triple H doing the head of most of the creative, is the fact that I think what they had that Vince lacked was growth in the industry.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like Triple H is a fan of wrestling. He took a step back and saw how is it growing from what we used to do. Yep. And it's like, how can we implement that in WWE?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Vince only had the business side of it. That's where the part of that business he grew up in was being the business part of it, not the actual like being a competitor, a wrestler in that business of like how difficult it is.
Right. But no, he saw the talent is like all they have to do is be enjoyable to him, and everyone else will like it because he's such a great guy.
And
that shows a lot.
That's where it became the problem, where it devolved into, because we can sit here and say anything about Vince for the last like 5, 10, whatever years. I mean, this is still the guy that brought us a lot of our childhood.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is the guy that really. So at one point, the sense was there, but obviously it hasn't been for a while. No, the reason I Punk kind of given a little bit of stuff, but and listen, I'm not expecting him to set the feud with Rollins right away. I'm okay with the slow build because we're still a few months out from WrestleMania, so it's
Yeah.
no point in like kind of blowing your load right away. Also, I think I saw a report that he'll excuse me, um, he's gonna have limited dates for December, but then come January he'll be like full time on Raw. We just saw that Randy went to SmackDown. I'm also the thing with Punk. I mean, obviously when he debuted on Rampage on AEW, it was a rumor. It wasn't guaranteed. And they
It
let
was
him,
pretty much guaranteed at that
yeah,
point.
but they let him open the show and let him talk and let him do his thing. I'm okay with them not opening the show with him only because we made the joke like Randy kind of got overshadowed.
Yeah.
So then they let Randy come out to begin the show, and
Do his spiel.
they kind of did center the show around Randy, which was cool. And then
Yeah.
obviously with SmackDown, they really made it like a
Apparent.
big thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm so happy that he's back. Clearly, not everybody's really talking about that, but the other thing is too, like all the people that were hate watching Raw were like, Punk came back for this," and it's like, what did you want to? You thought he was gonna come back and like talk shit about AEW
Yeah.
on Raw, like
Yes.
that was never going to happen. Like Punk is Punk, and yeah, and you can sit here and say like that whole like I'm here to make
Make money, not
friends or
friends.
whatever. Like I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. You could say that was like a shot at the Bucks, but like even then,
Great
I feel
meme
like
material.
that
I
was
feel like
more
that's
of a
unnecessary. Like people are looking way too into that because
right,
people are
and
like,
that's
oh, him running around the ring was like a callback to the Young Bucks doing the same thing
doing
when he
this
got
thing when
fired.
he got fired.
That's
Right,
that's a reach. That is Space Jam Michael Jordan at
right,
the end reach.
right. Because Punk has done that before, though. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Like he's
it's
done that
it's a
run around the
victory
ring.
lap.
Right. That's why I never took that as like he's sending a shot to the Bucks, and it's like no, dude. Like you could sit here and say he said that about Seth because technically that makes sense, right? Like hey,
Yeah.
everybody was really happy to see me. Well,
Minus one
not
person.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
But
know.
this is the thing. I think people were expecting the same CM Punk that was bitter in AEW to show up at Raw and talk about AEW.
Right.
But
Because that's what he did in AEW about WWE.
when he first came back,
He
fun
wasn't
fact,
gonna do that.
we learned after that there's an NDA involved. He couldn't if he wanted to, but
Right.
he wouldn't have anyway.
They wouldn't have. I mean,
Yeah, they wouldn't
they
have
wouldn't have
greenlit
let
that
him
anyway.
because
Yeah,
they're not.
because that's just
It's a one-off thing that they ever reference it. I mean, Cody's the only one that really gets away with making any real references to it because obviously he was the
they've
EVP.
gotten
Even then,
they've gotten used to it.
he doesn't really name
No,
drop it. He's
The
like,
only
me and
person,
my friends created a company, and
right. I
Michael
mean,
Cole, has made comments about that too.
he's done
Like
other.
at Survivor Series
he made the
in the same
EVP joke
building.
at,
Yeah,
yeah. He did the in the same building thing about Cody, which was cool. That was a nice little
which is
touch.
all in.
Right, which is
But
not technically AEW anyway,
yeah, the
because
only
that was
person ROH.
ROH. Yeah,
The only person that actually name drop AEW on WWE television is Sami
Sami
Zayn.
Zayn. Yeah,
Really?
as like
It
a
was during
throwaway
that.
line.
It was during that weird version of Raw where they did the third hour. It's supposed to be like the gritty dark hour, and
Yeah,
Corey Graves was doing like the electric chair segment, and they would like get people and random members of the audience would ask questions, and
yeah.
Sammy was a heel. He's like, "Oh, y'all could ask me anything. You could have asked me about AEW."
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
like
remember that.
Yeah.
yeah, that
Like
did.
that's the only time.
That's the only time
Although
AEW's ever been mentioned.
one of my favorite random like mentions was Kurt Angle.
Oh,
And
TNA's
Sami Zayn.
hiring.
Yeah, Sami Zayn was involved with
It's
that
always
too.
Sammy.
And yeah, so Sammy and Kevin were like a team, and they were
They
being
were,
dicks
yep,
about something. And Kurt Angle was the Raw GM, and he goes, "I don't have a spot in my tag division for you, but I hear TNA is
TNA's
hiring."
hiring.
And I was like,
Because this is when Sammy turned heel because they were
uh-huh.
having the WrestleMania match. It was a Hell in a Cell match
Yeah.
between Kevin and Shane.
Yep.
And they got fired from SmackDown and they couldn't go anywhere else, so they went to Raw
Raw. Right.
to get a contract.
Yep. Yeah, it was really funny. That was one of my funniest.
But I heard TNA is hiring.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
So I brought it up briefly, but with all the punk stuff, we got to talk about these Triple H rehires. And I'll tell you my favorite, just for fun. My favorite, somebody from Chicago, pretty awesome. One of my favorite rehires ever,
Go Brooks.
Kathy Kelly. Um,
Okay, the thirst. Is it because that one tweet with the dress?
You know, man, I could have took a guess of who you would have said, but I never would have thought Kathy
I do
Kelly.
like the fact that she made a joke about it. Does
Yeah,
that mean I'm the second favorite Chicago?
I didn't know she was from Chicago until she made that tweet, and I was
You
like,
know-
"Oh,
You know
that's
who else is from Chicago?
I didn't know she'd been
Guy
fired.
Blue.
yeah."
No, she didn't get fired. Wait, she got fired again?
Who?
Uh,
Second time?
No, I was saying I didn't realize Kathy
Oh.
Kelly had been let go.
Yeah, so she was
like
the
last
NXT backstage
Yeah.
person, and then she wanted to get brought up to the main shows, and then they had let her go. I don't remember if they fired her or she just like her contract was over, and
they
then
just
she
didn't
started
renew
to
it.
do some other thing. I remember she did some like funny shit with like Triple H and Steph. They were going to do it was like maybe like a backstage access thing, right? Like
Yeah.
signings and Triple H looked completely fucking bored. And her and like Stephanie were just kind of walking and like talking about stuff, and you see just Triple H in the background, like not wanting to be a fucking part of it. Like it was really funny. And she had all that Undisputed Era stuff like in the backstage area. Like it was fun. So I was kind of like happy that she came back, and yeah, she's.
But it's kind of ironic as you bring that up because they recently just released their NXT announcer, Mackenzie Mitchell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she made a post about it like yesterday or the day before,
I didn't even see it.
saying she was released by WWE.
Oh wow. I did see I didn't know any actual like talent like on air talent or announcers or
This
anybody got
was
released. They had a lot of like corporate releases I saw, like a lot of corporate people got laid off.
She was the only one that was like on screen talent that got released.
Yeah,
which
that's
is weird, but
I thought she was because wasn't she doing some backstage stuff too, and like she was doing fine, wasn't she?
Yeah,
I don't know, like
fairly fine. I don't think just released her.
yeah,
So, but I think the whole CM Punk thing is kind of funny because if you think about it, that entire show, that entire Raw, would have went the same way without him. Like if you took CM Punk out of that show would have not changed.
True.
That script does not change. It's
Yeah.
the same. Randy comes back, set up Judgment Day feud.
They would have just had
He's-
something else in the middle somewhere for like 6 or 7, 8 minutes, and then
the Randy match would have went longer. Yeah,
and then they would have
match
ended
went
it with
longer.
Randy. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they could have
So it
gave
just
that
proves
one.
like they didn't need CM Punk, but just to show like, hey, we got him.
True.
Well, I think they wanted him.
Yeah. But it
and
shows
it
like
makes sense. And like he's already selling a fuck ton of merch, and it's only been out for a
he
week.
is now the top seller in AEW and WWE.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Got him.
That's
A
hilarious.
fucking crazy thing to say.
But that goes to show like the power that he does have, like the drawing power that he has, right? Because you can say whatever you want about him and AEW and all the nonsense, and you can be a Young Bucks fan who hates CM Punk. He's still their biggest draw.
Yeah.
He was their biggest draw, day in and day out, ratings wise. Buys, merch. Clearly, he hasn't been in the company in 2 months, and he's still one of their top sellers. Like, I don't think he's
how are
number
they
one.
still
but he's,
selling
like,
his merch if he's not?
CM Punk stuff.
Yeah, I guess just to get rid of it all, or
Yeah,
it?
because they still sell Jay Cargill stuff.
Yeah. It
Like
also
they sell
technically goes
figures.
through like pro wrestling tees as well, and
Yeah, so they're fine.
yeah,
They're just a t-shirt company after all. Oh,
they are. They're a pissant secondary promotion.
yeah.
Jesus.
But honestly,
I mean, but they are a secondary promotion, and the fact that people get offended by that is the funniest thing to me. It's okay to be a secondary promotion when the number one promotion has been in business for fucking 70 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. You don't have to sit here and be like fucking bent out of shape about it. Like, the fact that you're number
Jericho.
2, right? The fact that you're number 2 to a company that's been in business forever is pretty damn good.
Considering there's other wrestling companies that have been around longer than AEW has.
Right. Even if they didn't buy ROH, they would still be the number 2 company.
Yeah.
And then it's not even close for number 3 and 4. Like, because then it's ROH and Impact, and that's not even close, right? Like, compared to AEW.
Yeah, I mean, it's
The only difference is you can say at one point TNA had like bigger ratings for a while.
Kurt.
Well, yeah, I mean they had Kurt, they had, AJ and Samoa Joe, and I think it started to lose a lot of shit obviously when like,
Hogan.
when Hogan and Bischoff came in. That was a lot of like, everybody kind of lost faith in the direction it was going. Because you had Sting. Sting came back in what, 2006, I think, 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. Kurt came over around 2006, I believe. And before those guys, like you were building your Samoa Joes and your AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels and
Eric
all
Young.
these things, and yeah, and like they were popping bigger ratings than like a Dynamite does at the moment. But like, okay, but also Raw's not popping the same rating they used to. So it's okay. Like, I think Dynamite consistently draws somewhere in the 800,000 range, if I'm not mistaken. Which is still pretty decent.
Yeah. They
technically beat SmackDown, which is funny because they didn't run side by side, but SmackDown got moved to FS1. What was happening on Fox?
I have no idea.
I don't remember that they got moved to FS1.
Was it like the World Series?
No, that was over a month ago. I don't know what happened last Friday. But like anytime they move to FS1, they don't do good numbers. When Dynamite moved, where did they move to? Didn't they have to move to a different? Oh, they had that like Saturday Dynamite. No, they had like a Dynamite that had to move to a different network or something like that, and it did like a shitty rating. And you're like, yeah, that's what happens when you change from your normal like thing.
Yeah.
The last time SmackDown was on FS1, they didn't pop a great rating for that either. So it's like, and I don't know if you saw like Jericho tweeted about it. It was like, oh, I thought we were like dead in the water, and it's like, bro, you're just feeding into that same shit like we were just talking about. Like, bro, stop
doing that. Just proves that it bothers you.
Right.
Yeah.
Just let it be what it is and put on the show.
Like let your product do the talking, and focus on the product. We talked about that. I still can't find an actual quote, but I saw it got spread on Twitter and then to Facebook and Instagram about the Jon Moxley quote. I don't know how legit that full quote is. I did see something about somebody asked him about the CM Punk return, and he said something like, "You don't want to know my opinion on that." That was the only quote I had seen, and up until like a couple of days ago, and then apparently it was like, I don't watch the product they do and their entertainment and we're wrestling, and then we joked about that because like clearly a lot of the shit you're doing
is entertainment,
sports based presentation. They actually got. I'm kind of kind of disappointed because they did get away from a lot of like. I think they still show the records, but like they show like the 2023 record instead of like the overall record. But also like if you look at the way people get these championship opportunities, there's nothing sports based about it.
Yeah, it's not based on wins or losses anymore.
No,
it used to be like, hey, these are the rankings.
Number one
like,
contender was you had to have a good ranking.
You had to move up in the rankings to be able to get the number one contender.
Because that's how it was. Like COVID, AEW was.
Well,
was like Heyman was the champion, and Kenny was had the highest or the best overall ranking. That's how they determined it. Yeah, it's something I did like too that I know that it doesn't really mean anything anymore.
Like if you would just come out and say like, "Hey, we're just an alternative." You don't have to like go off on a whole thing about how they're entertainment or how this or how that. Hey, we're the alternative.
Hey, if you're tired of this, watch this.
Hey, listen, I think we run again, the same thing we said about Tony if he would just let the show do the speaking. Like we put on a damn good show week in and week out. Our guys busted their asses, blah 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 blah. Cool.
Yeah.
Is it more adult themed? Yes and no. If by adult themed you mean like they can say shit
and cut each other,
like until you go fuck yourself.
Right. Like here's the thing about the adult oriented, like go back and watch the Attitude Era now. Just watch it. Watch week in and week out. Tell me what you think about it. I go back and watch it and I go, ooh, I watched this.
Yeah.
I thought this was great. And like a lot of it's not. And that's okay, right? Like the shit that was good was really good, right? Like your Stone Cold and then people forget like but like people forget like 98, 99, like Stone Cold wrestled occasionally.
Yeah.
He didn't wrestle every night. The Rock wrestled occasionally. He didn't wrestle every night.
Yeah, because that'd have been start a movie Rock. 99?
Towards Scorpion the end of 99, King. I think. Because he did the basically Mummy. The cameo for Mummy 2, and then obviously he like got the full movie, I think in 2000.
Something like that.
2000, yeah. Because like the whole thing I remember was like Vince suspended him indefinitely, but that was just him going to film the movie.
Yeah.
And then he came back during the like invasion thing, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, is it fun every now and again that they can say like bad words and stuff? Like, yeah, okay, good. At least the network lets them do that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they're a little too reliant on it, but other than that, like,
you fucking Mark.
Yeah, I mean that was listen, it's given us some great like fucking memes and like content and things like, the go fuck yourself thing, the green screen, like the amount of times you put that into everything was fantastic. I don't know how many of them I sent to you, but like it's that one dude interviewing that chick and it's like, what's like a red flag for you? And she goes, people like wrestling, and then it's like,
go fuck yourself.
It cuts to Christian telling it to go fuck himself, and you're like, yeah, there you go. So it's like they have some really funny moments with that, but yeah, just call a spade, man. Like we don't have to try to make it like you don't have to make yourself look good by trying to make the other guy look bad. Just make yourself look good.
Yeah.
I wish they would do more of that.
They're
definitely so reliant on like bringing up WWE stuff. They just did it again. MJF just did it, talking about Samoa Joe. And like he did it in a way to like make Samoa Joe look good, but again, he's doing it in a way like, oh,
shock
WWE
factor.
Didn't make him like a champion.
That is still, in all fairness.
Yeah, no, listen, but it's a legitimate gripe. But like,
zero reason that he shouldn't have been top tier. Which you could blame some of it because he was also pretty injury prone.
Yeah, but I mean, he did get injured like at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
I think had things just lined up the best way, obviously you could sit here and be like, oh, if he didn't get hurt. Yeah, and if a lot of guys in sports didn't get hurt, they'd have Hall of Fame careers. But it is, it is what it is.
It still is a sport.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I went on a tangent.
No, hey, it's fine. That's
good.
Works for me. Yeah, Survivor Series.
It's an okay show.
It was okay. I still like the cannonball fucking garbage can spot.
Yeah,
that just makes me laugh. You honestly could have taken both title shots out of this show and it wouldn't have mattered to me. Of Rhea squashing Zoe, and then, well, I shouldn't say squashing because she put up a decent fight, but we all kind of knew who was coming out winning that.
It was
Uh,
Rhea and
Gunther.
Yeah.
Which I will say Miz put on a good show for that.
Yeah, a decent match.
Like it was very I was worried it was gonna be very one-sided, and it didn't feel that way, although once again we kind of knew Gunther was gonna win.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say, as far outside of the War Games, the Santo Escobar Dragon Lee fight was probably my favorite outside the War Games.
Yeah.
I thought they both put on a really good show. It just cements to me that I love Dragon Lee. I really hope that they put chips in this guy and just let him run, because I think he could be really good.
and I also think they're doing right by Santos.
Yeah, I think finally letting him be a heel is exactly where he needs to be. I think he just doesn't have it. You've said this before. He plays better as a heel than he does a face, and that's kind of showing now. Because
Did you guys see that they're in possibly giving him two guys, like better guys, I guess, to work with alongside him?
it wouldn't surprise me if it's what Humberto and
So they were talking about either
Gaza.
Humberto
Yeah.
and Angel.
It's like Angel Gaza.
Angel Garza
Garza.
and Humberto Carrillo. The other two names that were floated in, and I constantly forget that apparently, like allegedly, they've been in contract for like a year now. Is AOP, yeah, which I think would be
was
pretty.
Was that the big?
Yeah, the big.
God, they still. I definitely thought
Albanian,
they got released.
They were like Albanian, right? Like
yeah,
like that.
Because there was the short white guy. Wasn't he like the manager of them?
Paul Ellering.
Paul Ellering, who was the manager of the Road Warriors.
Yes. Yeah. God, I didn't know they were still under contract. I definitely thought they had been released.
They got released years ago. Then they had that like independent catastrophe thing that happened with them,
where they scam people.
Yeah. Oh shit!
And then apparently, like quietly got re-signed. But I don't know because there's no
confirmation that they actually got signed.
Yeah. And obviously, if they've been signed since last year's, because they said since like November or December of 22.
Yeah.
So like we're talking, it's been a year now, and they've been signed for a year with nothing going on. So I don't know the logistics behind that or the.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Humberto and Angel come back.
Well, they've been in NXT.
Yeah, cool. They just had a title match with the family on NXT last week. They lost, but it was a good match.
I've always liked both of them.
Yeah.
I think they got like a weird.
What was that whole
Los Lotharios,
yeah,
stuff like that, and I was like, okay, and they were like flirting with the backstage chicks and doing all that stuff, and like whatever.
Because what was it? It was them and Andrade and Selena Vega was like the original.
Yeah. Yes.
And then Humberto turned face with Ray for a bit there, and then he disappeared. And then Angel disappeared, and then Andrade went to AEW. No, I mean it's my issues. I just never feel like WWE knows what to do with luchador, like the luchador style people outside of Ray. And even then, they don't really always know what to do with Ray either. Ray's always the filler guy.
I think the Triple H overseeing is doing better with that.
Yeah,
and clearly Sean in NXT has been doing better with that because he also trained in a luchador style under Jose Lothario.
Yeah. So
like he's gonna have a better understanding of like how to work that than Vince.
What you mean Vince isn't the guy for the luchadors? I wouldn't have believed you.
No.
Yeah, I could see them bringing them up to kind of fight the LWO. It's funny he keeps saying those guys' names, and now the only one I can ever remember is Joaquin.
Yes,
still don't remember the other guy's name.
No,
I hate that. I feel like they wasted that gimmick because I definitely would have liked to seen like an LWO return that was like very dominant.
Yeah, their whole thing, the Legado del Fantasma in NXT was a lot better than this.
LWL.
They
They were
actually win
actually competent.
matches.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean Santos was like a big deal,
he was
and
North
those.
American champion.
Yep,
No, he was cruiserweight champion.
I think he was North American at one point too, wasn't he?
No,
Ah,
I don't think he was North American.
let's find out. Santos Escobar.
What's the NXT? All right, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, Velveteen Dream, Roderick Strong, Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Leon Ruff, Bronson Reed, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Carmelo Hayes, Cameron Grimes, Solo Sikoa, Wesley, and Dominic and Trick Williams.
Huh.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
do I feel like he won something other?
Because he was in a, he
NXT
was he was in a match for one.
Yeah, NXT Cruiserweight Champion. He was in the ladder match that unified the NXT Cruiserweight Championship because JD McDonough, formerly known as
Jordan Devlin.
Yep, Jordan Devlin was the NXT champion, but COVID happened and he couldn't return to the States.
Oh
So he
yeah.
defended the belt in the UK while they crowned Santos as the current Cruiserweight champion. And that's when COVID let up.
Yeah, the
He
Cameron
returned.
Grimes ladder match
And
also involving Santos, Solo Sikoa, and Grayson Waller.
Yeah. So the only championship he won was the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah.
I always associate the purple belt with him. It's weird.
I thought the purple belt was the 205 one, and then they switched it for NXT, and then it was like the black belt.
No, I feel like there was a. I feel like he had the purple.
The purple was the 205
It
live.
it was, but I feel like they actually just kept the belt like that.
Wow. So maybe when they unified it, they switched it to the black. I don't. Yeah, I don't remember how that.
Roderick Strong had it. It was black, but it still had purple in it.
Yes, like the accent of it, like in the belt, like in the design.
So I feel like when NXT 2.0 came out, that's when they.
Because I always get like really weird about some of their like colorful straps. Like the NXT North American title kind of bothers me sometimes, but like I also like it because it's different.
So I like the red combination.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the white straps are fine. Because like that Intercontinental one,
Cody Rhodes.
Cody debuted, I liked. Trying to
The
think.
North American title looks nice.
Yeah,
for having a different.
There's always one title I've always hated, and oddly enough, it seems to be a very like stealthy popular one with people. Is the one Daniel Bryan did when he was doing his Eco.
Oh, the Earth Championship.
I don't like the Earth Championship.
I love it.
It just
it fits his character.
It does.
I mean, it made sense.
So Angel Garza was the last one to hold the purple belt.
Okay.
The bright purple.
Yes.
And then that's when it switched over to the darker. It's dark. The belt was never black. It was dark purple.
Oh. Okay.
They toned down the leather color to a dark purple, and
then it was like accent. A midnight purple.
It really is.
I could have sworn it was a black strap. Like
It looks black. That's the thing.
NXT Cruiser. I have to look at it now because
I
think it's one of those like
dark purple
Mandela effect things. You know what I mean? Like you're like, yes, it was a black strap. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so it is like a midnight purple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at that point, Angel Garza had the purple strap, had the dark purple one in that ladder match where Jordan Devlin won.
And then they switched it from the WWE symbol to the NXT symbol.
Yep. Because 205 was ending.
What a fever dream.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like I'm okay with switching it. I don't know. I like the WWE design instead of the NXT design. Like if you would have kept the dark purple with the WWE symbol instead of the NXT, I think that would have been fine.
It was never defended on WWE. Well,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it had the WWE symbol inside the X for NXT, which
Sucks. I wish it just had
yeah.
the giant X.
Spinner Championship. That's what we need.
That's why I did like the original NXT title because it was so
The
different.
big X belt.
Yeah, it was different, you know, like, and
Hell yeah.
I like the design that they have now too, but like that original design. The same thing with the women's title. Like the original NXT women's title was different. I was cool with it
Until it got cummed on. Oh,
well, yeah.
sorry. The world is design.
Yeah, I can't. As soon as I said it, I like that was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like,
And then
Porter just went for it.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh Lord.
You know what my favorite belt design is? That's off-putting to some people. The Gift of the Gods belt from Lucha Underground.
Oh,
the plates with the seven, like was it 7 medallions you have to collect.
that was,
Lucha Underground.
It's a fucking fever dream.
Hey, I still stand by. I thoroughly enjoyed Lucha Underground.
Wasn't it all just a cover for drugs?
Probably. I mean,
the drug peddler, which makes it the most Lucha Underground.
Yeah, it's authentic.
It's one brand.
It's stuck to its brand. Yeah.
Fucking Billy Corgan was there.
I did like that old school, the green strap WWF belt that Dusty like won but didn't win.
Oh, you talking about you talking about the big gold one with those side plates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not much for like the colorful straps at times, but like sometimes just because it was different.
You just hated the Ultimate Warrior when he won a belt.
Yeah, and at the Intercontinental and the WWF ones, and he had that fucking like sky blue or like lilac purple fucking, and you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Hey, it's on brand.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and that's the thing. So like, it made sense, but I was never really a Warrior fan anyway.
I still wish they would revert the tag champs back to the old ones from like Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah,
I don't like the current ones.
I do wish, I wish they would give them. I loved the 90s tag belts, which they kept as the SmackDown. I think they were the SmackDown / WWE tag belts, and then the WCW kind of got switched up a little bit and became the world belts that were on Raw. Because that was the big thing. Like SmackDown had the WWE titles, and except for the US Championship, which was a fucking WCW title, and
then
Raw
it became
Intercontinental, but they had the World Heavyweight Championship and the World Tag Team Championship.
Yeah. I just don't like the designs on them now. The silver and color.
But I think because it's all silver with no like anything to it, I think kind of throws it off. Just the same way when they look like the pennies, like that copper look with no other like color or really like texture to it.
Yeah.
Kind of was like off-putting.
Because I'm thinking the belts I'm thinking of are ones that Paul London and Brian Kendrick had, where it's like the gold, blue.
Those were the updated versions of the 90s belts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there was like a slight change, but they were fine.
Yeah, that's definitely. Excuse me. Oh, I see the Ultimate Warrior one. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah,
that looks awful. Yeah, they let him do that.
Yeah,
they let him do that.
And somebody had to beat him for the title and like have that. I think. What did he have?
No thanks. You can have it.
One when they won it. I don't remember. I don't even remember who beat him for it. Oh, it was Slaughter. Didn't Slaughter beat him for it? And he had that fucking like light blue strap.
Yeah, probably.
He lost it to Hogan like fucking a month later or whatever.
Oh, this would. I kind of wish they would do this for. I would like this. I'll send this to you guys. I would like them to do this design for the US title. I think it'd be cool. Oh, I didn't copy all the damn thing.
No,
Hey,
it didn't.
trash. This podcast is so off the rails today.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that's okay. We're having more fun.
Let's see. Let's try this
We
again.
need to have fun. How do you guys feel about the current U.S. title design?
I hate it. I want this one.
Fuck no.
Fucking.
No.
That's as
No.
American as it
America.
fucking gets, bro.
What in the fucking WWE 2K create 5 minutes in the creator section?
I need it. I need that to be.
I hate it.
No.
Here,
Instant weight belts? Why?
I'm gonna show the world this one. Let's see.
Show the world.
See whose camera am I putting this over?
Okay,
oh, mine.
Dolph.
Okay. This is the belt we need.
Here to show the world.
This is the belt we need.
Wait.
Wait, what are you sending?
No. I need. What is this? Nah.
Oh Lord. I think we need to wrap up soon because I'm about to pass out.
I gotta get up at 6 in the morning to call off.
I gotta get up at 4:30.
If you're wanting a weekly recap, here's the recap. And we're gonna bang bang boom. We already talked about Randy and CM Punk. Shinsuke Nakamura is definitely gonna spit in Cody Rhodes' face this week. The Creed brothers are getting an incredible push. Their finisher move is still fucking stupid. I still hate it. They're really setting DIY up to fail. I don't know why we brought him back if we were just gonna have him job.
Oh no, because he wants to recreate the DIY feud all over again and on the main roster. Easy. Triple H loves that feud.
DIY feud. I don't.
Oh, it's a
I
whole
watch
thing.
Black and Gold.
It's a whole thing.
Bronson Reed and Ivar double count out. It was a good match.
There's some matches you should definitely see. Like that feud had some matches you should definitely see.
Gotcha. It looks like we're running back to back Rollins McIntyre matches probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jay is next in line though.
But
yeah,
well,
I agree.
As of this recording, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He defends the belt against Jay first.
On Raw. This Raw coming up.
And then Randy had a good match with Dirty Dom. Not who I would have thought would have been his first match back, but overall, still a decent match.
Some shit. So
and then CM Punk did his 6-minute thing where he's not here to make friends, he's here to make money.
Yeah.
That was Raw. NXT was kind of meh. Kind of okay. Come on, my computer work with me.
Site guaranteed.
Wait, what?
They will Ivar and Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Fight on site now.
Pretty much.
That's the gimmick.
The family defended against Humberto and Garza, like we talked about earlier, and they obviously won. Healy and Jordan qualified for the Iron Survivor. Ron Breaker qualified for the Iron Survivor in a very, very boring match that I don't recommend because it was super boring. Dragunov beat the ever-loved shit out of Fraser. Which, it started off very one-sided, but it got pretty good, but it overall just turned into him beating the shit out of him. Arian Grace defeated Carmen Petrovic. It's okay. Yeah. Lexus King match was mid. I feel like I don't really care about the Lexus King guy right now. Besides, I guess them kind of acting like he's the one that hurt Trick Williams.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to be him.
And then Wesley, this to me was match of the week. The fatal 4-way match with Wesley, Gargano, Reed, and Grimes, I thought was very good.
Better matches are Brody King versus Claudio, but
well, I don't watch that shit, so
I know.
that doesn't work for
I
me,
don't mean
brother.
that shit as in it's a shit product.
Yeah.
I just mean that
No.
shit.
I'll say, get off your chest.
This was one of the few matches I actually liked Bronson Reed in. Didn't mind him too much. I could have done without the fucking where he swings Cameron Grimes into his junk. Poor guy. That was NXT. And let's do SmackDown. Logan Paul was there because fuck it. Announced.
I mean, he is the U.S. champ, so he should.
Trash. He ain't been on TV
They
for
should
a
at
while.
least have one champion.
Yeah, SmackDown has no champions. on
Doubling
TV.
down. You had the running it back with damage control again. Shotzi still seems really odd in this feud. I don't know why.
I will
because
say,
they had no other females on the fucking
Sure.
roster.
out of all the she seemed very out of place for that match, for the War Games match, but I think she did fine. I think she did.
Yeah. I'm not saying that she's bad. It just she still seems out of place.
Yeah, she seemed out of place.
She's tacked on. She's doing a lamer version of fucking Nikki fucking
Cross.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe with the whole War Games thing and like a blood and guts match is that should be the end of
a feud.
And it's like
you're not doing a fucking Hell in a Cell match midway through.
Yeah.
You're fucking, this is weird.
But they've done it, and you're like, come on, don't
get it over with.
It seems like they're about to do the Bailey turn on Bailey.
And then
I mean they've been teasing that for.
They're gonna do it at Royal Rumble, and Sasha Banks is gonna come out.
Yeah, because she's now rumored to be coming back to WWE, which would be kind of shitty for AEW because they definitely for All In they made it seem like she was definitely coming. They made it a point to show her in the crowd. They made it a point to bring her up at the press conference. So it would kind of suck. You kind of get hyped about it and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they're eating good right now. They got Ospreay, which I don't think really surprised anybody, because he's getting to work the schedule he wants. He very much was always against moving to America, in the sense of he wanted to be closer to home, and AEW is going to allow him to work in Japan still and do other things. So that didn't really shock anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of seem like they're angling Sasha back. I know Bailey just posted something about her yesterday, I think, because it's now technically
Saturday.
Monday.
It's now Monday.
So now 2 days ago, because it's technically Monday since it's 2:02 a.m. as of this recording. Fuck us.
Dedication.
Yes, we do it to ourselves every week.
You had Santos defeat Joaquin Wild, and then Dragon Lee come to help and smash fucking Escobar's face in.
And now they're running that back for the fucking tournament.
I figured they would. Was he in the tournament? Oh yeah, he is. I didn't notice that Dragon Lee was in that tournament as well.
Why do this match if you're gonna do it 2 weeks later?
True.
Yeah.
Because Carlito couldn't be there. Yeah, what he's talking about is Logan Paul announced that there's going to be a tournament for the next contender for the U.S. title. First 2 rounds are Santos and Dragon Lee and Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross. It's good that they're bringing Karrion Kross back for an immediate loss. That's super cool. I'm guaranteed they put Austin Theory versus Waller just for shits and giggles.
Yes.
And then Kevin Owens and a superstar from NXT who did we speculate? What?
If it's
Carmelo, Trick, or...
It's Trick. It's got to be a face. Because they're not putting Grayson Waller and fucking Austin Theory in a match. So it's KO versus one of them and then a face from NXT.
So yeah, Trick would, to me, make the most sense.
Yeah.
or Carmelo, but I think Carmelo is almost about to turn heel again. So
Yeah. So it's neither one of them. It's gonna be neither one. Why take either one? Why take either one of those out of that?
I guess
Because Trick is in Deadline,
yeah.
so neither one.
God,
Neither
who
one
would
fits.
it be?
Neither one fits that criteria. Tyler Bate.
Dollar Bates, you think?
That one would be. I think that would be a good spot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
especially with
see.
all the Pete Dunne stuff that they're doing with Ridge
Yeah.
Holland walking away from him the week before, and yeah,
Super odd, but then Butch getting his ass handed to him by Mr. Lashley.
well,
So the way I'm looking at
not-
this now, I feel less believable that the KO injury is legitimate. Because the way they phrase it is like Austin Theory injuring Kevin Owens' hand outside the ring. Then you had Bianca beating Kyrie, even though Bailey tried to come out and help, even though she was told to stay away.
yeah, people are mad about that she came back and lost. But like, at least it wasn't like clean. It was a distraction thing. Okay. I'm still upset that she didn't do the elbow drop off the top of the cage.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
And then you had Randy Orton officially signing with SmackDown, RKOing Jimmy Uso, and then Nick Aldis.
LA Knight came out.
Yeah, LA Knight. Yeah.
Mandatory LA Knight pop.
Yeah, gotta have it.
I will say I'm surprised LA Knight's not in that tournament.
He's not because this is just a filler feud.
Yeah.
For Royal Rumble, I feel like the bigger match is gonna be either WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber. Actually, WrestleMania. He's gonna hold the belt till WrestleMania and then lose to LA Knight.
Okay.
So you don't want LA Knight and Logan being near each other until after Royal Rumble.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So that's
they've already sowed the seeds for that a while back with the whole. Was it Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did here's where you could stick your prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our weekend review.
Calls himself a megastar and makes YouTube videos for 14-year-old girls. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's the Stone Cold one. Sorry.
It's the same.
Yeah. What?
I mean, according to Kevin Nash, it's the same exact.
Well, Kevin Nash also doesn't know the difference between a noun and an adjective. So
A verb and
an adjective, whatever. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are gonna end. 2 hours and 30 minutes in. We try it every week. We'll be back next Sunday, as always, with our Cream of the Crop podcast. Is next weekend the weekend you're not here?
I'm not here next week.
So you may or may not have a special comic only Porto and Onyx stream where wrestling's not even fucking talked about.
Go for it.
Because we started this podcast with that. So we shall see. We'll see what we get into. It's never a good idea to have me and Porto have a mic for long periods of time.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that I'm somehow the buffer.
I don't know. It's just you are. It's we have to have the older person in here to keep us from getting unruly.
I should not be responsible for other people. I can barely be responsible for me.
Fair. But
I don't even keep myself in check most of the time.
But as always, we will catch you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.
Adios.